shape, or form as financial advice, right? Then I is a licensed investment advisor, but while we're on the show, nobody's giving investment advice, and nobody coming onto the show talking is also giving investment advice. Make all the investment decisions with the help of a licensed investment advisor like Danai, but in a session that's personalized for you, right? So don't just buy or sell something just because you hear people on the internet talk about it. And some weeks that's more applicable than others. This week I think is probably even more applicable because we're doing what's called a blow-up list, right? I should say the blow-up gift list. And that is a simple idea. So I'll tell the rules of how I expect this evening to go. And this is probably going to be also another short episode. So if you're expecting us to stay on for 4 hours, don't bank on it tonight. So if you want to talk about something that happened, something you definitely want to get off your chest, or something you want your reviews on, send a speaking request on Twitter, and we will certainly get you in the conversation, right? So how does the blow-up list work? The blow-up gift list work? Simple. I was thinking when I was typing this, and I was thinking that the usual thing. Everybody want that blow-up stuff. They want to buy something and it go up in price, right? And everybody else also seems to think that they know exactly how that go. Some people do, some people don't. Track record speaks for itself. Dana and I have been fairly good at it over the years, I think. And while it certainly isn't going to be a guaranteed, I guess it's one of the episodes that this is going to be one of the episodes that we can look back at and say, well, we got this right or we got it wrong, right? We can look back at it in a year. So the idea is this: for everybody who joins, everybody who sends a speaking request and talks to us about a company, we'll tell you how we feel about it, whether or not it makes a blow-up list, good or bad, right? And yeah, it's that simple. If you don't have one in mind, you ask us about what we think. We can throw one in there, and of course, the why is more important than the what, I think. But that's how it works, right? If you don't understand, send a speaking request, and when we're talking, we will explain it to you again. But it's as simple as you get to ask us if something is on the blow-up list, or tell us something that you think is on the blow-up list and why. I'll have a good conversation about that. And again, like I said, we're not going all night, so if you have something in mind, or if you have something you want to know about, if you have a stock in mind, this is your sign to send a speaker request and tell us about it, and we will have a conversation on it. And I think we're doing maybe 2 or 3 of these, so it's not like there's going to be a huge list. So take up your chance, don't waste your chance, and yeah, I'll give you guys time to send a speaker request. You guys can do it however you want, and in the meantime, talk to Danai. So how's the market been this week, Danai?
Very, very, very funny. Boy, I say last week I needed some money and my transfer maker was up, so I just sold it, and then there it is. So I don't actually care really what that. My vex with thing, the right name again. The reason why I had to pull the money, my vex with that reason because I would not have sold it, but I needed the money, so that's what the stock is there for, right? But yeah,
That's true.
very interesting week. People had the transfer maker massive had a clear. They really take a runway this week. They made a lot of money. So yeah, I know it dominated a lot of the conversations I saw and a lot of the trading, of course. So it doesn't always do that. Yeah,
True, it
quite a week for
does.
transfer maker.
True. The hell of a transfer maker week. I join you on that train. Every week is always up in the air as to whether or not I own any. And well, this week I did. Lucky me. Of course, I say lucky me. It's not really luck, but as you know, it's not really luck. Yeah, this stuff is predictable. Thankfully, still is predictable. Funny, as you said, transfer maker is one of the best for the week. If it had ended, it hit, first of all, it hit its all-time high this week, right? Yesterday, I believe, because I joined you on the sell my transfer maker shares yesterday. It went as high as $8.20.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can't knock profit if you have it, right? I was thinking about what you said just now about, the transfer maker crowd should love it. I think they love it. I hope they love it. I saw a tweet from, what's that guy's name? Dale. So I think from Dale
Transfer
talking
maker
about,
boss.
yeah, my transfer maker boss is right. Of course, the messages on the thanks you get from people, I guess, who he's spoken to about transfer maker and who go in and buy it. Of course, it is probably the most owned stock on the market. So whole heap of people should be very, very happy that it went up as high as it did this week, which again, very, very predictable thing. Went up and then went down because it's not at the higher. It ended today at 790, up 13% for the week. Sorry, up 13% for the week. So it started the week at what I don't even remember. I don't even remember the price that it was at the night. Or did he buy it long ago? I should say. I should ask if he bought it long ago.
Oh, it was quite a while still. It's quite a while. Quite a while.
I think last week, I don't know if I said it on this last week or if it was in the girl group. But like I mean, I bought it fairly recent. I bought it last week.
I mean, I would have bought it if I was honestly if the money wasn't going out. If it was, if it was cash in hand, it would have gone there. So yeah.
So it ended last week at $7.11, 7.11, and it is now. It ended this week at $7.90. It's up 11%. 1 week, not bad, not bad. It's rapidly becoming. I don't want to say my favorite stock, but it's rapidly becoming a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful stock to me. We touched on it last week in a completely different way. Well, not a different way, really the same way, right? But maybe more of the things that aren't usually said. And somebody who benefit from some of those things there. You wonder when the music going to stop, but the music nice and loud now. So
so go and dance.
Exactly. And with one foot out the door too.
But I don't know. An interesting thing I've seen a lot is more and more people expressing fear on it. But
what kind of
factor of what happens when it falls? What happens if it falls? Can it fall? It's now high in people's minds.
The fear factor. Oh boy.
Yeah, so it's like iron buy doesn't necessarily seem to be the only conversation around it. No.
But they're still. I mean, are they still? I think they're still buying.
I don't know, but I've seen more that I just have had or have observed more than one conversations where somebody expresses fear around it, and it's very interesting to me. It is interesting because I think around and say maybe it's how long can you be in an ignorant position and doing something and then without questioning it. And then also, all right, one of the fear points I did hear, well, in a actual conversation session with somebody, they were saying, well, I have a lot, I've made a lot on it. I don't know it's supposed to fall, then I'll lose all that money. Can it fall? It's one of the reassurance from me, of course, to tell them that everything is fine, it won't drop. Of course, I didn't say that. But then also, like, it was just a fear around, okay, I don't know what's happening though. I made this money. I have no clue why. And I don't know. I mean, it was much easier to do this when you told me to buy at $1 or something.
I get you. Yeah, I get that. That's a person that's very honest with himself. That's good.
I loved it actually. I loved it because it's a thing. You know it is. You that's one thing you want to drill across to somebody. Yo, be honest with me around what you're doing here. You be honest with yourself first, because if you come to me and you tell me all these things, like if I have to fight, if I am more honest with you about you than you are, then we're not gonna have a real conversation here. You're not gonna make any decision on nothing. I can't actually tell you what needs to be told to you, and if I can suss it out and find out what's really going on in your mind, when I tell it to you, you're not going to listen to it. Okay, I already gave yourself a narrative, and the advice I'm going to give you around that, you're going to want advice around the narrative more than advice around the thing that's actually happening.
That's also a major point. People want to hear. They say they
Yeah,
want
I
to hear
mean,
their opinions in your voice.
you want to tell me long-term pension, but every single time we talk is short-term, and
Yeah.
the convo is focused on that. Then when I tell you long-term pension, if I tell you short-term, then boy, you don't want to hear that. But then you get act short-term. When I tell you when I give you the long-term thing, you get act
Mm-hmm.
short-term, and you're going to be upset around two things cannot mesh. I tell you, I tell you how often I have that conversation. You can't tell me long term whatever, and when I give you the shot, when I give you the long, or even funny, it's funny. I've seen the reverse too, by the way, and not necessarily reverse from a perspective of them saying and thing. That is more an action thing. You tell me you want short term when you do the long term. I've seen
You do.
and the long why I said I do the long term because they're not necessarily paying attention to anything in the short term. They want to do a
Ah,
short term thing and then if it goes right, yeah. If it doesn't, then I'll lock my eye for the next 5 years.
yeah, that's a
And
long
then I say
time.
when I get over the feelings, I'm gonna talk to you. And then I say, yo,
Your ass said, I think they never did
you
a
wanted a
workout.
year, and sometimes it's funny like you tell me a year,
Mm-hmm.
I give you the plan. 3 months, we talk about it again. I play for the next 3 months or within a year or whatever, because that's what the goal requires, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes even work and they don't know. So, like the 3 month plan work, and you decide, oh, I don't need to see this guy again because I don't know. I don't actually. I think I know why that happens. Meaning, it works whatever. But I guess the work in there so it's enough for them in a certain way, or I mean, you want as little. No, you know the reality. I don't want to go to another session. I want to hope this works out for I want this 3 month thing to work out for the 1 year, and the confirmation I want it moving in 3 months, so it's enough for me to convince you to move for the next one, for the next 6, 9 after that. That kind of thing happens, but
Mm.
often, whatever reason, you do the shot, you ask for the shot, we do a shot plan, and I'm not actually paying attention to the market certain ways. I don't actually make any decision. I'm not going to suddenly take up the trading thing on a certain level to be a short term person that actually should be the things I need to be doing within the short term. I also want it.
Mm.
I want good results within the short term, but I'm not gonna take up the kind of things I need to be doing. So I'm not gonna check my portfolio, I look on the market and whatever. And then if 3 years happen and you say, oh wait, then say, say
Boy, that thing they never work out
we are
certainly.
where we were. So we
Yeah,
had to know. And then the conversation is, well,
yeah.
it ended up being long term. It would have been better if you had said long term. We do a long term plan,
Mm-hmm.
and then we look now after the 3 years versus you said 3 months or a year, and it's now 3 years. What we doing?
Yeah.
Honesty with self. The big part is, I mean, that's why a big part a big
Honesty
part
with
of it
self.
is really honest with yourself. What you're actually going to do. You can't say you're gonna do that. You can't say I need a short term plan, whatever, because I need to do this, and then you're not really ready to do those. You're not really ready to do the things that in it. Which is I think I like the girl group. I find a lot of them. I think a lot of you kind of pushing the thing there. Are you pushing you need to be honest with yourself. You can't be just you can't just be sitting down and say thing there. So people have to be very real around the thing I'm doing right now is what I'm doing. I can't have any conversations and talk in 2 ways.
Yeah, and you can, but it's going to work out badly. It always works out
Mm-hmm.
badly. Yeah,
And
because
I do
you,
things that you do say it up front. Yo.
yeah,
And I think those why the constant conversation I think helps that. It's I've seen other people doing the thing I say I want to do, and I see what it takes to do for Tabs to do that thing. Uh
true.
I still try doing certain things and how he's on top of him thing and doing the thing I want to do, and me not do that. Then boy,
Yeah, it's a hell of a group because you get the push and you get the warnings also. Like a lot of the same mistakes I'm always warning about is mistakes I have to warn myself against, right? And sometimes
mm-hmm.
that I'm guilty of the thing too. So the same help I have to give myself is the same help I try and give them. And some,
It's funny. I don't think people like hearing that. I mean, I say it myself to clients. I don't think people like the idea that we're They want someone that's infallible. They love
Oh,
to hear that, yo. But we can't. I mean, if we never walk the road, we can't tell where you go, right?
exactly. Yeah, like you can't be really good at it without being realistically good at it. And being realistically good at it means like a lot of I think we say it and maybe just ignore it, but a lot of the like we get things wrong all the time. Right? And not just off what people feel wrong, but like when we actually have conversations and things we look at, we get things wrong all the time. But that's how you know to get things right. And that's also how you know to pick up the bad habits, right? The things that are lagging, the things that can lead to profit, or if you ignore it, lead you to pain, right? So I think
And there's something to learn in knowing how much right you need to be about something for you to get certain things out of it.
yes, what getting it
Because
right to profit looks like.
yeah, so what do I know about this stock? What do I know about this company and the plans around it and everything, and how much of those things? One, am I right about them? So I don't actually know them or feel whatever, and then how much of those, all right, I'm right about this, I know this thing, how much of those actually can formulate into, hey, I can actually put a play here. Because it one of the worst things is when you're doing the thing and then you find out, oh, I was wrong about that. And that one thing that you were wrong about changes the whole game plan for you.
Yeah,
So then
yeah,
the thing you bought becomes, oh, I shouldn't hold this right now.
yeah,
And that can
yeah,
happen at many points within the thing there.
yeah.
Sometimes it's even just being comfortable knowing you don't know that thing. I know say I don't know it, I know say I don't know that about it, but it's okay. It's either that don't matter to the degree I need it to, or and not knowing I'm gonna change it, or yo, that's a risk I'm willing to take. I put in
Yes,
X amount. I mean that's the difference between putting that amount of money or that much more.
true. And it also gives you a point and a position to look at or look for in the research, right? So I don't know. I don't want I don't want to even mention any stock yet because like I said, I throw it out for the people. People send a speaking request. You get to ask us about whatever stock you want, and that's I think it's good. So it's payoff for you sending the speaking request on Twitter. If you don't send the speaking request, then it won't happen. But I was going to use that specific stock, but like there's a thing there that we don't know, hasn't been very clear about. The company has been very clear about it. But the second they are, then you will know. Um, and I'm thinking about like I have some money in that company, and I don't know that specific data point. But I'm hoping that when that data point becomes known, it's going to cause a blow up in the share price in a good way, right? And of course, the reverse is true. That data point could be known, and then it becomes squat is nothing.
Yep.
Yeah,
And so sometimes that even that is the line where I mean people I think that is also a thing where people think, oh, you pay attention to all these stocks equally. Well, no, sometimes I know a lot about it to a point.
yeah,
I don't. So then it doesn't necessarily have to be the thing I'm looking at every day. I'm checking on every day. I don't need to see that one piece of news, and then suddenly it's back on my radar more strongly.
yeah,
I don't. I know all these things about it, and I don't necessarily have to see how it moving up and down. I just know when this thing come out, that's when I will buy it.
exactly,
Mm-hmm.
exactly. And
We've had so much examples over the years, bro.
oh
I mean,
man,
a good one is like a Grace. Oh, when them finally ready. What I'm ready for? The thing we've been saying for the last over 5 years now.
yeah, geez, the thing they've been saying over 5 years now.
Yeah, and there
Yeah,
are multiple companies like that. Multiple, and trust me, we've said a lot of those things online on this. So
yeah.
yeah.
I think even like some of them we can say some of them will mention them so many times. Maybe SVL is the obvious one, right? I mean, think of SVL and where it is now, and how long we've been talking about like Caymanas. That's like 2019, 2020.
Think how long we've been talking about. Oh, yo, SBA is a bank for real. It's not just.
Yeah, like what is a
It's
bank?
not just. Yeah, it's not just. Oh, I'm better. I'm going to go my business. Yeah. I call it that of it, that's what it is. It just as a company, as a business, that thing makes it become that much deeper in what they can do. And we see them go from bank to actual banking. Yeah. So
Yeah, wow, you're right. That was this quarter. Officially, that was the most recent reported quarter where they officially technically got to bank. Unit
but
bank.
look how long we've been speaking about. From before they've even said betting strong. We had earnings season, and we were saying, "Yo, no, this thing takes in money and don't have to give back. You work out better than a bank."
Correct. Yeah.
When I put the money in the bank, the most I have to take, the most when I ask them about money, I'm going to take the fees, but them I'm going to give back my money.
Which they're very good at.
SVL say you might get it back because you put this money there every you get a paycheck go to the bank account. SVL say you get your paycheck and you come to me every single day. And you don't
5
know
times a day.
Statistically you're going to get back less than you put here.
Statistically,
you're gonna lose more than you win.
Yeah. It's a bank
that have more people. I don't need money there. It's the partner draw with the brother that you can't trust. Him gonna spend the money. Him go buy. You put a partner with him, and him car broke down, and him buy 4 tire with the year money, and you draw a corona, and him must say,
"Why was it? Yeah. It's an honest bank. That's what it is.
No, I take my draw early, guys.
Oh God, that brings back memories, painful memories. but yeah, it's an honest bank.
Mm-hmm.
It's an honest bank. Like, hey, when you win, you're gonna win and feel good, and you can win really big. And all the other times, you didn't win. That's more, in some ways, that's more honest than
try again tomorrow.
Or you're safe with us or whatever, right? Because it's like yeah. Nobody advertises the backdated service charge, right? No, nobody advertises that, but yeah, it is a more honest bank. And then you have the other points from it to blow up. There's the expansion point, right? There's the whole Africa expansion, Ghana, neighboring countries around Ghana. There was actually before Ghana, there was South Africa. I remember when I first started some time back with the South Africa with for a complete other doctor. But things like that, things that happen that you're not always sure until it happens. In fact, the majority of what the profit is made from, I think, is things that you're not. If we were 100% sure, it wouldn't really be an investment, right? So yeah, the majority of the things that will make the outstanding profit, the blow up profit, if you will, the good blow up anyway, are things that you're not sure about until they happen, and when they occur, and it becomes, I wouldn't say it becomes known, it becomes widely known, maybe. Then you have the great blow up reaction, and then sometimes, carrying it back to your first point, sometimes there is no great blow up point that's widely known, but you get in the blow up anyway, and that's where the fear generally sets in. That's like the transformator. That's like the people going, "Boy, I've made all this money, right?" But what that's the honesty themselves. Like, they don't know why. They don't know nothing about trying to make a change between last week and this week. So why the 11%? Why the 11%? But 11% still 11%, right? If you manage to sell at the peak also, which very few. I mean, I'm not a fan of trying to do that, but if you manage to sell at the peak, that's 820. That's 820 from a week that started at 8, or is it starting at 8? I've already forgotten. 790. So you're looking on what? You're looking on 14%. No, I feel like that's wrong. Yeah, I feel like that's wrong.
That's always my calculator, bro. I do not trust the
Yeah, me
headmaster.
too. Yeah. Yeah, me too.
You know, I tell you all the movies. The guy that really knows math, he does it in his head. Everybody I know that's really good at math, they know
Use
upon
a
that.
calculator. Yeah, yeah,
Like I'm
exactly.
more interested in being right than being fast.
Exactly. What I don't remember is if it actually started, if it was actually 790. 711, that's what it was. Not
7-Eleven. Oh,
790.
okay, yeah.
711, yeah. So
7-Eleven
it
works.
definitely could be 790, 711.
Mhm.
Yeah, 15%. So why did it fly up 15%? You know, why were 4.5 million units traded, or well, more than that was traded. If we go to today, 5.7 million units traded this week at such a high price when you could have got them last week at a lower price. Honestly, itself is like, yo, I don't really know why. So I understand that sitting in that fear, you know. I respect that
Mhm.
fear actually. I respect somebody who acknowledges and works with that fear, allows it to guide what I do. Like honestly, I don't really know,
Mhm.
which is why a lot of people get worried. It can't last. But yeah, again, throwing it out to the people, send a speaking request if there is a stock you want us to talk about, you want to hear. You here is on our blow up list, something that we think might blow up over the next year. Um, I mean, it's literally that simple. You send a speaking request, we talk about it. If you don't send a speaking request, then
No,
it
yeah,
is what it
I
is.
think we're talking right now about people the thing people want to blow up in a year. I think they very easily this would very easily be off of people's blow stock. So this is us
Word.
taking it from you.
Yeah, okay, but I mean, yeah, so if we do it and we mention Trans Jamaica, you get that. Well, I assume, or I should say, I know from the past, a lot of people in the past, you get that empty feeling after we say that, where you realize that's not really what you wanted to hear. Like if we told you a year ago that Trans Jamaica was gonna blow up in the middle of March, and then February, March, and then again going into May, which is almost verbatim what I said, May, June. Um, yeah, it's exciting. Then I know it's happening. It's exciting, but okay, it probably will blow up again within the next 12 months.
Mhm. Mhm.
Know what? All right. So I don't know if trying to make I think is like you can call it a freebie, but I don't know because it also could stop. In fact, while we wait on it, if anybody wants to talk about any other stock, send a speaking request and we will. But while we wait on that, about the next the flip case, then which is the thing that we
Mhm.
always mentioning. Suppose it stopped.
We're in the doom trans America. Supposed to
Oh
stop.
yeah, the
Yeah.
doom. I tried to bring the doom to people, but suppose it
I
stopped.
know, bro. I know, but I'm sure that is what is felt by. I mean, we've had a conversation where somebody says something really good and we're like, oh, what? Maybe not, and then it feels like
Oh, yeah.
we fight it.
Why are you hating? Why are you hating on this thing? Yeah,
It can well stop.
it can. And if you have money in there, especially if you put money in there, um, recently or anytime soon. I mean, these trades that happen today, the trade can fly if somebody don't sell,
Mhm.
and the trades
Which is
can.
also another thing I think, which is somewhere fair. The higher it goes, then the more dice you put in, the more dice it is. Oh, I'm gonna buy some now. You feel more late to the game.
True, true. Well, like I said last week, when you felt late to the game, or when you felt that fear about a month ago, 4 weeks ago, when it was down to fives more than 4 weeks, when it was when it fell down below six, uh, so long ago, April 13th. Um, think about what you felt then and look at where you are now and consider that, because that is the market, right? There is no slow, steady upward rise to your gold price. That's such a rare thing that I can't imagine. It almost never happens that way. Up and down is the way, and then sometimes nothing, and then overnight it seems something. Uh, so yeah, what I don't want to say what could cause it to stop. Maybe that's a deeper conversation I would have on Brick Talk, but than we would have for Brick Talk. But it could stop, right?
Mm-hmm. The thing is that I said this. I have no strong expectations for it to stop anytime soon or anything. Right? I think this will be something we can go back to for quite a while and make a good amount of money. Pretty, so with some fairly low frequency.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
it's not that we're saying that, but yeah,
mm-hmm.
it can't stop it. The movers might just move on.
Yeah, they could. Uh, they could. They could. That we dropped that report and the PE dropped immediately, and yeah, the hype. I don't say the hype center because I think there's no difference in hype. Although it was a strong report that came
Mm-hmm.
out, but how many people bought it? Like how many people bought Transformic over the last week or two? Probably me alone. Obviously not me alone, obviously, but
And it's Randy was the secrets.
right, yeah, it's
So
actually me.
it's Randy. He's the one that's been buying it up.
Yeah, 30 mil a day, every day, just so it work, you know what I mean? Uh, but yeah, it could stop. It's coming closer to being fairly valid now, though, right? A lot closer to being fairly valid now. I think 14.9 times as a PE. I don't know if it has never had a PE that high. I think since listing, or if it did, it'd have been like, yeah, way back in the
I think when the ugly days,
yeah,
when everybody hated it.
correct. Yeah, the ugly days is right. The ugly days is right.
Yeah,
But
but I
no.
mean, this is a thing that we are now at a point where the business is harder. It gets harder and harder for the business to catch up with the growth of the business versus the growth in the stock price at this point, right? Where we're now at how would I define that point exactly? Like, I know what I want to say, right? But is there an easy way to say that where, oh, the business grew a lot,
Mhm.
and then the stock price has grown a lot, but no, the stock price has grown more than the business relative to where it was has grown. So no, of course, the PE now is going to reach a point where, okay, we're going to have a higher PE than what's being considered normal, because okay, the price went up, but then the business never go up as much, and it becomes harder and harder and harder to generate. It's billions. It's bringing in billions. You don't turn on our next billion so easy. Big up SPL. Right? But new leg, all right. But the new leg isn't doing as much as the old leg.
Well, I don't know, bro. 46% of the new leg.
Yeah, 46%. Yeah, it's at
46.
100%.
True, or 46%. All right, so the 46% dropped the PE down to. No, the PE figure here is wrong. It's what I can see there, but it dropped the PE right when it came out, right? And
That's
then
true. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it did. And then I mean, no, where we are is where we are, 14.91 times, right? The next quarter we know is probably gonna be in the same class again. 40 odd percent. Because again, it's a the business is the business. So 40 odd, 30 to 40 odd to 50 odd percent again over the next, let's say the next quarter or two or three. Um, so let's all wrap the year 40 odd percent. Let's all wrap the year 40% up on the previous year.
Mm-hmm.
Is the price likely to go 40% up? That's a simple question, right? That's
Yeah, right.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. I don't know. It's apogee. I'm thinking apogee, but it might not be the right term. I don't think apogee is the right term. But
And then we look at we also then what's the next step of growth? Will the next step the next step of growth will not be relative to the first leg only. It'll be relative to this leg and this leg. And another leg, there is no this leg versus two other legs. You get me? So it becomes harder and harder for it to just balloon in that same proportion
do
to the
while
stock price.
doing the same things
Mm-hmm.
at the same price.
But
It has some easy options. which it's probably going to take up. If somebody come on and talk about it, I touch. It has some easy option. I don't know. You raise a really, really good point. 40
Yeah,
odd percent.
so I'm not even saying that it can't go that today. I mean, it's funny enough, if someone is saying us, we have to make this because again, it has options to ground out the business and get certain things going. To me, just easy for this of our company isn't what it's not. Oh, double next quarter. It's you have to put certain things in place and then the money comes out of it. So
Yeah, like this new leg took a while.
a while,
Yeah. It took a while. And is there another leg there? I mean, the other leg is
but that's also a thing there.
not.
That slowing down isn't a bad thing because it becomes a different. It might even just make it a different kind of opportunity. It might be, it might get to the point where suppose that becomes a narrative. Boy, Jamaica, them not really grow like they were growing before, but you know it will grow. But it's just not gonna be very immediate. Then you can buy against that. You can be, I know I can get a good amount of Jamaica for a while because the kind of growth people want to see isn't just happening just so, but it's gonna come. But then also the people versus the movers, that's a different conversation.
True, and the company versus the share price, which is also another conversation.
Yep.
Because let's be serious again.
But I also think that becomes more and more of a reality in terms of the thing there.
How long it can move?
How it will move because the movers again. I said it last week. Because the company is so good, it can very easily do the thing it's doing because it satisfies a lot of conditions that the movers will have for it.
Yes. Yeah.
So it's not that I'm doing this on the back of something that is a bad company, weak cash flows, not a lot of profit growth. The thing is, it has all those nice things. It's ticked all those great boxes.
Correct.
It's great cash flow for the people that are doing it. A lot of things are great around it. So it's not that those things disappear. And so, but also, as it share price versus thing there,
company performance. Like how long will what share price does the
how long are they matched? Yeah, how long will okay? So I mean, if it grows a good amount, then it becomes boy. If price make a double tomorrow, then all those metrics look different. That's a lower dividend yield at any new entry. That's cutting dividend in half at any new entry. That's cutting the PE and all those things in half at double at any new entry. So it becomes a race, like it becomes a race where the lens is different. In a race, one is not far ahead of the other now, and
that's such a good point.
So those are the things I look at and say, all right, maybe that's my strongest point for, say,
being
for the
careful.
movement to not for the music to slow down. I think it will still satisfy certain things for them, of course. They'll do whatever, but they also have to know how far they will do whatever they're doing. How far are you willing to buy from Jamaica? What it's because again, we're even talking about this from a retail perspective. The retail people are there are people in the retail who, again, I'm having those conversations of, but should I be buying here? Because I don't really so sure anymore. It was easy when you said it's at $1, $2, 9, and it's at 9, 7, 8. Then so
is it still the same? That's true, yeah.
Imagine it, I pay at 14, 15.
I mean, it's pretty much 15 now. And this is after the first 46% uplift. Now, granted, it's just one quarter.
I'll say the 15. I was talking about the price, not the PE.
Oh, ooh.
But same kind of thing, right? Same kind of
thing. Yeah. If you double the price, double the PE, PE of close to 30.
PE is still PE is not a bad PE at all.
No, so I think it's a fairly valued, if not undervalued PE. I think it's fair to say it's an undervalued PE and dividend uplift. People love
Yeah,
it.
I agree. Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
But it's you're right. Share price can move up much faster than company profits.
Mm-hmm.
And how that's such an interesting question. How long can the justification last? Now, granted, we've seen the justification for the heavy hitters, let's say. We've seen them use it on rubbish. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We've
Yes.
seen them use it on things that is not worth it at all. And you know what the
He's
real
not
reason is, yo,
he's not a transfer maker.
yeah, the big man say it have to do, so it have to do. All
Right
right, so make
conversation
that,
happens, so it goes.
yeah, man, make the DCA match. Or not the DCA,
DCF.
make the DCF match. Yeah, now the DCF come back around, change it, make it come back right. But you don't necessarily need that for this. And the interesting question then is how long does the justification last? Because it's such a good question. It's so good I don't even want to say it publicly. Can last a good little while, you know. I'm thinking about the dots, the things that I know are set to happen with Trans Jamaica, things that will happen over time. You know, things. The Singapore debt isn't forever, right? The more you write that back, that's more cash freed up for the company. The government, I'm sure the government pressure hasn't ended. So to get that money, maybe do a special dividend. Uh, the I saw a headline talking about concession for the taxi drivers, um, which not that that is ultra important, but what it reminded me of was the fact that Jamaica is not like JPS. You know, there's nothing, as far as I know, in law that says that the price can raise after at a certain point. Granted, they have to ask the toll authority, but it's like almost once a year. And I think it's linked to U.S. inflation, so I want to say, which
Well,
is
even like that, like
it's a
that right
wild
now
thing.
isn't the easiest thing.
Say that again?
The that right now. I've been having that conversation with some people around things like bond options and whatever. Not the prettiest situation right now because the way inflation is hitting, the way not just inflation, but I think the interest rates high.
True, but their debt. Well, is their debt floating? I don't think the debt's floating. Is it? The Singapore debt is floating.
I'll have to check. I can't remember.
I don't think I want to say it isn't floating, but let's say for purposes that it is. But yo, I'm laying out the case for a price increase, which is I think they can do that every year.
I think so as well.
Yeah, and I think the last one was 2020. I wanted 2024. It might have been 2025. But it's a new year, and so it's next year, right? And so you get to price in some increases that way. You get to, if as you handle bits of the debt, you know, the Singapore debt, you get to knock that off. You get to also you're not just the Singapore debt, but the local debt, the pref shares. There's also excitement around that, and there's also, you know, write-offs around that. And if you're writing off more, not writing off, but if you're retiring more of that and paying out and choosing to pay that out as cash, like if you don't necessarily have a direct expansion plan or anything like that to put money in, so why not put the money back to your shareholders? Yeah, it could. It could. Let's say I see many little points along the way for them to get that boost, right? Because again, company from the share price. The truth is the share price is moving for other reasons, but the people like to tap the company reason onto it. So they have a lot of things that will, I'm thinking, will help the base case of, oh, it's justified to do this, which it will continue. But I'm still thinking, when will it, what, 2, 3 years, 4 years, 2 years? We're saying 2 years on 790, and we're in May. We're not even fully halfway. We're not really halfway in the year yet.
Yeah, we just start.
I think
And that's from
that
what? From it started the year near 5.
yeah.
Yeah.
It started the year at 461. Wow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think
So last year's a flat year, which by great design, I find that to be so beautiful.
yeah, man. Somebody sharp has been and still is obviously
Mm-hmm.
advising. Yeah, so you can't knock it. I really really like it. It's a dance that I like that I don't know when it's going to stop,
Mm-hmm.
but it's going to stop, and it's not going to stop when most people expect it to. But it also, like I said, somebody on Twitter this week, who says it has to stop.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
It
yeah,
don't have to stop.
the stopping also is thing. It depends what you're there for, right? It's stopping what I'm talking about,
Stop.
stopping what we're talking about, and we're talking. It's no longer this easy thing I can just buy and just forever it will go up into bigger percentage in perpetuity. Yeah, it's no longer gets that kind of hype feel. That's stopping. So we're not in any way saying this is gonna be a bad company, you're gonna lose money. That's not at all.
Not at all. The stopping that we're talking about is 2022. So we're calling stopping 2022.
Those to the moon.
Just,
The
it got to the moon and then now what?
yeah, the moon is where it is. You can't if you're going to the moon, you must get there at some point, right?
Yep.
So, yeah.
That's a very like I can't I know I'm not gonna stop thinking about that because I want to put more structure around it. I want to put more structure around it. When will it not be justified? Yeah, when will it not be justified? And very, very, very few people, I think. Well, we'd love to hear your thoughts on that. And like I said, I see more people in here now, so I'll throw it out. With the title of the episode is not "Let's Talk About Trans Jamaica." It's a blow-up gift list. It's meant to be. It's a gift to you. So anybody who comes on and sends a speaking request, you get to ask us about a stock, talk about a stock that you want to hear, and we tell you if we think it's on a blow up list, and we can also give you one that we think is gonna blow up over the next year. Blow up, good or bad, up to you. But yeah, it's a gift to you, so utilize it. I see a bunch of people in here, but I don't see any speaking requests. And maybe people don't want, maybe they just if you, but you have to come on Twitter and send a speaking request. So I see somebody on YouTube said decode next week. I don't know what I mean by that. Maybe
Next week is interesting. It's a very interesting.
I think it's gonna be an
What's
interesting
happening
week.
next week?
I don't know what's happening next week. I have my own ideas about what might be happening, but if they want, they can come on Twitter and tell us what they meant. So let's be request and tell us what you meant. And the first verse of the night who do this. And by the way, again, like I said, people, we're not doing it the whole night. So if you want to talk, now is the time. We're not doing it for 4 hours. See, DeAndre sent a speaking request. DeAndre, you can hear us? Jordan?
Yeah, man, can you hear me?
Yeah, man, we're hearing you. What's up?
Blessings, blessings.
Okay, I'm hearing him. Okay, yeah. Night,
Cool.
Andrew. What's up?
Night, early. That decode next week could be nice.
What does that mean, though? What's next week?
I don't know. I don't think anything happening for them next week, but I don't think the report is due next week. Isn't it next month?
But I don't
Or
think
is
that's
it
what you're
next
talking
week?
about when you said it. What do you mean when decode next week would be nice? What would be
What would be
nice?
nice next week for
Yeah.
decode?
Oh, if a buyer is named
A buyer?
A buyer.
for the 79% buyout.
Sachiko handling that, no? Wait, is that known? I don't know if that's public. I mean, it's public because that's how I know it, but I don't know if most people know that. Let's pretend
I
I never
mean,
said that.
what what I was familiar with was Green Hill was the banker. I didn't know who locally was handling it.
Green Hill was the banker.
Uh-huh.
Who is Green Hill? As in Green Hill and Co. Green Hill, the investment firm.
Hold on a sec.
The investment banker.
Yes, from what I read in at PR Newswire. Where is it? World of Dolphins. Reach out to greenhill.com, Greenhill and Co., who is serving as the company's investment banker. Yeah.
Mm. That was a long time ago. That's from September, no?
September, yeah.
Yeah, it's an old article. But that's not. Who's Green Hill and Co. Really? Dolphin Cove is an interesting one. But hey, I won't try and plan it. You pick. What's the company you're picking?
Oh no, that was it. That's I was when the person said the cover, I was waiting for them to join to see they're gonna talk about it.
Okay, well, whoever it is, I think they just owe on they just owe on YouTube. So
Yeah, but when
so
I think when I joined BrickTalk in March, and I think I did bring up Dolphin Cove, and you said, "Yo, go do
I,
some
I,
research, go do
I
some
must think
research
so.
on it." Yeah, and I went and did some research and around it.
what
So,
what did you come up with?
well, came up with I think at the point I had just reached to where at that time I had just reached to where reached to the Green Hill and Co article. And then after that, check out my notes. Right. So when I take over, this is gonna happen. This is over 50%. There has to be, as per the JC rules and the main market
As
rules,
per the country's laws,
for the country's laws. Yeah, yeah.
right? Not the JC's
Um,
rules.
yeah, apologies. There has to be a takeover
Ma-
circular. You're saying something?
Mandatory takeover offer is what I think you're going to
Mandatory,
say. Mandatory
right?
takeover
Mandatory
offer.
takeover offer. With that circular being
But they
released
don't have to.
to the
But there's
JC.
cases in which there doesn't have to be a takeover offer. No.
That would be if the JC grant an exemption or a waiver. If the company is in like duress or something like that.
Is the company in duress? We're talking about Dolphin Cove. There's talk of
Right.
bankruptcy.
No, Dolphin Cove isn't in duress, it's just the parent company. Dolphin Cove seems to be okay to me.
Hmm. 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 Well, continue to here. I like the point that you're coming with. That's something I want to
Mm,
hear about what
yeah.
you're saying.
So I was looking at the aspect first to say, well, if
Is there any other? Is there any other? By the way, is there any other um case where there doesn't have to be a takeover offer?
um, compare. Well, those were the only one I was familiar with.
Okay.
I I,
All
I,
right.
I didn't come across
Okay.
anything else. Um so yes, so when that mandatory offer will come into play, um then they'll have to where is it? Because I wrote these things down. Right. So then that would show that will give the offer price and when I think you have 21 days for the offer period, if I don't if I recall correctly, to act on it. So if I'm gonna accept the offer, I'm gonna agree to sell Dolphin my shares. So it all depends on what that price is gonna be. Versus I guess comparing that to perhaps the current market price or where I probably think it could go. And and if we don't have any hurricane this year, weather stays good. Um, I would want to think that if I'm taking over a company, I'm gonna try and do my best to at least give it a good shot. Try to put it up there. So if we're getting those tourist arrivals, that revenue for Dolphin Cove could also bring additional hype around the stock after the whole takeover thing is settled.
Mm, I hear you. That's I mean, I like the points you're making. I like the points you're making. Some of them, and you've heard, like you say, you came on in March. You've heard me speak about it before. And if you didn't grow up from before, I don't know how long ago, you'd have also heard me talk about it from that perspective quite a few times. So, I agree with you with that. Well,
Mm-hmm.
with the with some of the points and the future of what I think will happen with Dolphin Cove, but you haven't actually asked anything yet. So tell me what you're asking, because I don't want to overshoot.
Oh, okay. Um, to be honest, I wasn't really asking anything in particular with Dolphin Cove. I really was just sharing what I researched and learned, and if it makes sense. I guess I wanted to find out if it makes sense then. Um, yeah. But obviously, I already answered that by saying, well, you agree with most of the points, blah, blah, blah.
Well, you need to be careful. I'll tell you, you've left out things that I think are important, but even I don't know on
Mm,
the top of my head if they're important or not. But that's the downside doing it halfway. If you read fully, um, yeah, look into if there's any ways that the takeover doesn't have to be done. All the ways we need to take over, meaning the takeover is going to be, I think, is going to be done no matter what. I see somebody on YouTube say, Decode shares going for
Same O.
same O said Decode shares going for 1603 per share for the takeover. I
So I guess
mean,
that's next.
maybe that's next week. Oh, look like him on some insider track. Well, obviously, we don't have any insider information. Or you can join us and talk to us. Not that I don't like what you're saying. Obviously, as a Dolphin Cove shareholder, I like the idea of 1603. 1603 is not a random number. So
mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
it's not a random
Of
number.
course.
So
Wasn't that what 16 wasn't what they sold the World of Dolphins for back in the day?
it's a good question. When did they sell it to World of Dolphins? 2016?
I think I recall
I
seeing
believe
something
it's
like that.
2016. 2015 or 2016. Let's see.
1603, 2015.
2015.
1603, yep. There's that Observer
So
article.
he's in the same price, basically.
Yeah.
Or I believe he's using the price.
Yeah,
He or
yes,
she's
sir.
using the same price. I don't know if they know something I don't know.
Exactly.
True, true, true. Can't assume.
Offer price was actually US 13.31 per share. 13 cents, 13.38 cents per share.
Mm-hmm.
They said, but what were you saying to?
No, I'm saying yes. It was 0.138. So I don't know if they're gonna sell it back for that price.
1338. But did you transfer what that was? Because that's not the 1603. I mean, at 158, that's over $20, no?
16, oh,
$21.14 at 158.
oh, I didn't transfer it. I just went off what was there in the article. To be honest, so at
Yeah.
zero.
Article.
Yeah,
articles.
do
We have a long for articles.
Can't do that.
Yeah, on the market things. A lot of the articles, even though most of the articles that are written are, you get better information, I think, from reading the documents. Yeah, I think you get better information from reading the documents. Because also you get more accurate.
More accurate, more objective.
Yeah, much more accurate, much more objective information from reading yourself. The articles will have mistakes in it that are sometimes it's small mistakes, sometimes it's large mistakes, but almost always, at least the mistakes that jump out to me are things that how do I put this? Things that I think stem from either from a lack of understanding. That's what I'm often see. So like the person writing the article doesn't truly understand what they're talking about, what they're writing about. Then you want to base the investment off that.
Good point. Touche.
Major point. Major point. And also again, no knock to O, but again, that's a letter on the internet saying something. 1603 is not a random number, but maybe 1338 was 1603 back in the day, before the exchange rate got to where it is now. I don't know. Be like what, 119 per share? 119 to 1. January 2016.
Sorry, I'm looking at this. I'm looking at January 2016. Strongest rate 119 to 1.
So it was probably that. So is click the link in below the video and join us on Twitter and send a speaking request. And we'd love to talk about it. We'd love to go into greater depth. And not just me, not just Danai, obviously here Deandra on. So you have other people out there who want to talk about it. Yeah. And just to put it with some color for everybody that's looking, some of the other things that O has said is buy low, sell high. Very, very popular motto. Some have said buy high, sell higher. Carreras
that's an interesting one.
DC some upside and last D. Yeah, and let me guess, and also Carib Cement and Seprod and GK, and of course Trans Jamaica, and really anybody can say anything. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'd love to have a conversation about it, and I'm sure I'm not the only one. But yeah, Deandre, going back to your Dolphin Cove. So you think there's a buyout offer coming?
I guess perhaps. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Right, and I was saying, no, I'm also just remembering something that you had said. If you could touch on possible risk, like another reason why the mandatory offer is not could not happen. I'd love to hear
Top
that.
of my head, I don't have that. I'm not doing the research on it though. I know it's in wherever you read that stuff. It's in that document though.
I just probably didn't read enough. Got it. All right, cool.
Yeah.
And then to the points that the dots are the points that I made.
You want me to tell you exactly how right or wrong?
It would seem as if there are some things there that I'm missing. I'm not connecting. And I would love to know. And I would love to know.
I can't read the future. I don't know. I do own Dolphin Cove shares, so I have said that, and I continue to buy, especially at these prices. I would point something out though. You look at My Money JA, and you will notice, those of you who have premium accounts and pay for My Money JA and see the actual the value. One of the values they give you is those broker linked orders. And these broker linked orders have been in the Dolphin Cove queue for a while. They've been there for a while, especially the upper ones. 1043 has been there for a while. I think it was at 1034, 1035 there too. It was at 1043. And when I say for a while, I mean like months. Yeah, maybe months. So let's see. Yeah, months. So you might wonder like why would there, if this is a method of price control, which I'm not saying it is, hard to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Most people even
When
understand what that is. But if it is a method of price control, why?
when I saw it there, not that not that I fully understand, why they would do it, but in my brain, what I was thinking is that, well, why is it this low? Like it's a two. It's well, if you minus the top three from what's there, 1043,
Mm-hmm.
that's probably 271. So that's 112. So that's around little bit over half of the 271. I'm like, well, that's not very hard to clear.
Sorry, of the what?
The 271. So when you go to the price projection at number 4,
Mm-hmm.
and then look at the difference of that 271 value minus the 112 value at the 1042 order, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying that getting up to 271, all you need is 112 to get to 207 to clear for the 271 to be on top. So I'm saying, well, that's not very hard to clear. That broker link. So to be honest, I didn't really pay much attention to it because of that.
I think you lost me here. You talking about what it takes to clear all four of these?
Right, because you mentioned price control.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
So I'm saying with the limited knowledge I have of the
No,
price
yeah, that's
control,
fine. That's fine. I'm just trying to understand what you're saying. When you say,
right? I'm saying that it only takes 271 to clear that broker. It can come back, of course. They can put back some there once they get the alert that it's cleared.
Oh.
Oh, so
But
I get you. You're saying, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I don't
It
want
only
that.
takes 271 grand to clear those four.
mhm.
Yeah, but you don't know how deep that order is. Could be an iceberg.
Could be a nice
All
break.
right. So that's why I was saying they could put it back right as they get cleared, no? Yes?
It could. I mean, anything is possible. It's almost, in my view, it's almost certainly an iceberg.
Mm.
Yeah, it's almost certainly an iceberg order. Uh, the why is more important to me.
Why? Well, let's see. Let's see. Perhaps, perhaps they know that something is coming and they don't want the price to get too outrageous that they can get it at a lower price. So
One
it's
mean
just
they
like
can
it
get
can
it
be
at a
bought up.
they can get it at a lower price. No.
True. Well, they can manage how far it will go for them to get it at something reasonable.
Mm, I think the brokers have a lot of money, bro. I don't, yeah, yeah. I don't think getting it at a reasonable price is beyond them. But
Okay.
that's a direction down which to look. I think. Sorry, Dana, you're saying something.
No. No, yes.
Okay.
I was gonna
For
ask how
me,
you feel about the thing there. How you feel about the? I'm sure I've said it before. That's why I don't want to run in it because I don't want to be. I was saying, but generally the takeover where you say, boy, I'm taking 80%, not 100, and cap it there. So how you feel about that?
You're asking me that or Randy?
No, Randy. But
Okay.
again, I didn't want to jump in on the point. I was
80% of the 80%.
80% of the company. So I
But
became
that's
a
already up
mandatory
for
for,
sale,
for
right?
I so say they buy 80% of the company, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they then forced to make a mandatory offer. How you feel about when they broke over when the thing that when the takeovers say we're not going past this amount because we don't actually intend to delist and da 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 da.
Well, they can. I get what you mean, right? So they can't pass 80 or they'll have to delist.
So how you feel about them when they say, I buy 80 and I make a monetary offer for this little bit more? Or I don't buy 80, I buy 75 and I make a monetary offer, but in the case where I get more, I give back.
I mean, I don't know if there's any way to feel about it. They're following the law, so it is what it is.
No. I'm sure I've said this to you before. That's why I don't already know this. It feels to me as if it goes outside the spirit of what exactly is trying to be done there. Because is it actually 100% takeover then? Are you actually doing a real offer for my shares? The law say I have to make an offer for my shares. So unless
the law, what the law say? The law kind of say the law say you have to do a mandatory takeover, but then there is that 80 thing, right? In this case, a funny thing because they're right up against the 80, so there is little wiggle room.
So was they get 80 and then what's offered? They make an offer and say we not. I mean, they can make a too low offer, right? But I don't know about that. Isn't that can go court, right?
Depends on the case. I mean, if you can make a too low offer, willing buyer, willing seller, open market.
That's how I feel about it. But then,
yeah,
I don't know.
You can't make two offers. I can't offer DeAndre 15 and offer you 10. I can't do that. But I can offer everybody 10.
Yeah. To me, yeah. So I think that's why I said the 75 instead of the 80. Because I think the easy thing here is to make an offer, make a merger offer, make an offer that's ugly, and we know you're not gonna take
it. You could. Also, there's a consideration
but
of
in the case where so in that case, I think that's what when you get 70 and you say I only want 10 more, I only want 10% of the outstanding more. I don't want the other 20. So I'm gonna make an offer and I'm only going to accept the 10 more. I think something around that's what feel wrong to me.
Maybe feel wrong, but maybe you fair to feel how you want, but I don't know if it's obviously not against the law.
I don't know either. I don't. Is it not? I mean, it's why
it's not against the law
because it no problem so far.
Yeah, you can't. They can't pass 80. You have to stay at 80. You pass 80, you have to delist.
Mm-hmm. Is that a consideration within the law of how you feel about delisting?
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. In fact, as we've seen, the law allow you can go 50.1 and then go for another 0.1, right? You have wiggle room in there. Of course, we'd want it. This is going up against that point of what people really want or the idea they have versus how it really works, which is and what to realistically expect, which is like in this case, one party owns 80%, 79.9, right? If this is what's being bought already, then that's what's being bought already, right? If I do an offer for the 213.9 million units at 1043, and only World of Dolphin participates, then only World of Dolphins participate. And then there's a new controlling shareholder. Let's say it's the gentleman from Garden House, and then it has a new owner. And that goes back to maybe DeAndre's point about you're running it and you want it to look good, but you're actually running the business. Are running. You don't have to be running the business, but it's your business. You are the big kahuna in charge.
Interest. Yep.
Yeah. And then the whole buyout thing done. I've done my buyout. It's done. So I would then, for me, what I have done is I've considered what I think is happening realistically and what's likely to happen. And where, as always, I'm always about where are we going to make our money? Where's the money going to come from? If all they do is they buy World of Dolphins, where's our money going to come from? And then how excited should you be about the takeover offer? Because none has been announced. How excited should you be about a takeover offer in that case? Then again, tempering it with the broker linked orders that we're seeing on My Money JA. It's those are what do those broker linked orders intimate? These have been here for a while. What could that indicate then? And why would they be there? Have they helped to maybe suppress the price a bit? But why would you want to suppress the price a bit? I like all of those are points I don't know, but I just have my thinking through of them. And so I don't want to say that I'm not. I am not thinking that the buyout, if a buyout happens, will be a great exciting event. I'm not thinking that, especially if what Anonymous O on YouTube says happens. 1603 for I think that's trading at 10.11 right now would be great. Yes, that's wonderful, right? But also there could be nothing there for me. I could end up getting nothing from the 1603 or little to nothing. So I'm thinking also beyond that, which is more along the lines of like what some we've spoken about before that, which is like, the race don't done. This thing don't happen and it done. Trying to make a don't hit 10 and then it done. Still listed. What are you still going to need and want money the next day or the next month or the next quarter or the next year? So what happens after that? So for me, Dolphin Cove itself is actually, my excitement around it is linked to the possible buyout that, as you mentioned, Andrew, but it's also linked to a lot more that I expect.
The buyout isn't the only point of this thing being a strong consideration for it.
Correct. It's not, the buyout is not the only point.
It's a step in the way.
Exactly. But they could do the they could go complete buyout and pull it off the market, right?
They could.
Yeah, maybe Stafford Burrows tired right now, tired of this marketing now. Keep it. Yeah, man. I started it, and it's time for it to come back home. I want to pull off a Steve Jobs, but might be a pretty penny, but yes, Sagicor.
But if they offer to, if they choose to take it off the market, do they have to? Is it a must that they make an offer to buy out the minorities?
No.
No.
And oftentimes they do because if I'm going off market with it, I don't want to have you in there.
Yeah, I don't want. I'm not going to have this private and go to it.
Exactly. However, grow principles. It's the asset. So there are ways in law that they can force, they can squeeze, but there's also a lot of ways in laws to protect you. But so usually there's an orderly enough buyout. We saw with Key, but even now with Key Insurance, GK is not the sole owner of Key Insurance, and it's delisted. So, and that might be also a thing that there's so many roads, there's so many roads to go down, there's so many strategies that they can use, because you might not want to own the thing if it's not listed on the market, right? They tell you that it's harder to sell, it's not listed on the market. The taxation might be different. You don't have as much of a say. I don't know if that's true, but you don't have as much of a say. They don't necessarily have to report to you as often, which is true. They no longer have JSC rules. But on the flip side, if Stafford Burrows take it offline and decide to, starting from tomorrow, 20% dividend yield, then you get some of that 20%, right? But you can never tell fully. But I don't want to cheat you to a point at all, DeAndre. I'm happy that you joined and asked it. So yes, obviously I think within the next 12 months, this is one of the blow-up stocks. I think it's going to be a blow-up stock for one or more reasons, multiple. The first one you mentioned, which is the possible buyout. It's a possible buyout. And as we see, whoever O is on YouTube, Oh, I say YouTube is actually Twitter. That's even worse. Oh, you're on Twitter, so you really have no reason. You can try.
Well, I mean, I bought it. I bought some, and I bought it on the basis of the takeover, and then my last point about them wanting to make it look good, and get it up and running, barring hurricane or anything like that.
Even with a
So,
hurricane.
well, even with the hurricane, I'll buy more when I see the hurricane. If I see a hurricane, yeah.
On that point, though, I should point out they have not yet reported their hurricane quarter
They're right. They're
four.
Q4,
Yeah. So the Melissa quarter has not been reported yet, and
and
they are well well overdue. They're almost 3 months overdue in the report.
yes, I'm happy you mentioned that, because that was something I forgot to ask. When I saw that, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm late with my quarterly report, it could be that one, I don't have such pleasant news, but then two, if I have good news, I want to share it quick. But then what if that good news is just wrapping up, and I want to share it within that. So, for the past couple of days, I've been stuck between those three chain of thoughts as to
So
why is it late and what could it be.
okay. Uh, what did you come up with?
I am more. I think I want. I think I more choose the one that I want to believe.
Yeah, most we
that
usually do.
that that they have good news. It's just taking a while to for the due diligence and then wrapping it up now. But then I also know that the Hurricane Melissa, it could also be a factor with everything. I mean, the only thing I saw that was damage was what's it now? Okay. They fix it back regardless, so that's fine.
What was it? Is you saw something there and you went there?
No. I in the papers.
Okay.
Let me see if I can. I don't know where that. Did I write this down? Let me check. I have to go
I
search it
mean,
back.
they have facilities, they have stuff, but the dolphins live in water, and hurricane don't really affect water. Well, it does, but the dolphins are in the water. Dolphins tend to survive hurricanes. Also, they move them, I believe. I don't think they had much damage, much if any damage coming out of it. But I'm also assuming because they have not reported that quarter or no, and they're very much they're very much well overdue. 2 months and 3 weeks is very close to very close to I think delisting. Not delisting. What's the thing that?
Suspension.
Thank you. Suspension. I was gonna say worse. So yeah, suspension. Um, but just like you, I think that there's reasons for it. I also am assuming that is because of the I've lots of little reasons. I don't like to put too much advanced gross stuff out there, so I don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
But like you, I think that there are legitimate reasons for it. I don't know about the making it look good or making it look bad. Yes, granted, I wouldn't be surprised if the Melissa quarter is bad. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a bad Q4. They've reported a bad Q4 every year for the last I don't know how many years, the last 10 years. But there's bad and then there's bad. Just like how there's good and then there's good, there's bad and then
Mm-hmm.
there's bad. And caring about how it looks is something that the owner does. And if we are in agreement that the owner has changed, we don't know what the new owner cares about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't know what the new owner cares about. So I'd put it to that. That's what I'd say. I don't know what the new owner cares about. And we're about to see
Yeah.
what the new owner cares about.
Fair.
Also, them being late on the Q1 is also, to
Yes,
me,
I telling.
uh, yes, very, very, very interesting. A lot of companies are late, but not the 2 quarters late, not like the full year and also the Q1 late. But I wasn't surprised when I saw the Q1. I said I wasn't surprised when I saw that Q1 was still late. I don't expect any reports until maybe every report.
All right, when I saw, I was like, probably not going to see the Q1 till about. Well, no, I don't want to say that because I don't remember the timeline. I was gonna say
Well, it's
I was
due.
just
It's
in.
due now.
It's
The
due
Q1
now,
is
but you're
due the
probably not
middle
gonna see
of
it till
is due the middle
July.
of May.
They have what 45 days. It's like 45 days
After the end of the quarter.
after the end of the quarter. Thanks. Yeah.
And they said that they anticipate filing their audited statements. This is what annual report. On or before May 29th. So they're going to May 29th.
And then they get they ask for extension before that.
They asked for a few extensions because that's just for that's for last year's report. And then they said that they expect to file the Q1 on or before June 5th, 2026. So I guess next week, 1 week from now, is the 29th. That matches O's timeline. And then June 5th also is a week later. So who knows over the next 2 weeks what could happen.
We'll be here for it. So
God willing.
I
No,
hope, yeah.
no. Just a little bit of gloom and doom. The realistic, what if case.
Yeah.
Suppose the news comes out. Because I did look and highlight the broker linked order on MMJA for the sell queue, but suppose the buy queue also. There's 2 in the buy queue, only was spoken about, right? 3 in the buy queue, 10, 1006, 1001, and 10. Now suppose the results come out and they're terrible. It's the Melissa quarter, plus a whole heap of other things, and the Q1 come out and it's terrible. Suppose people have been waiting and them afraid and them frightened and them sell and this thing go down to 9 or 8. It can hit 975 and not hit the downward breakup. What then?
It could.
How you feel?
What now?
It depends on what those other things be. If those other things don't impact those 2 main points that I have that I'm working with, and it's just the businesses, dolphins are still good. Yaman, Moon Palace, every other business is still intact. Then I think I'd buy more.
Word. But I should point out that I know that the dolphins are good. Like Dolphin Cove is open.
Right. And those little things that you said, it's not related to the takeover or anything
It could
along that.
be.
It's
No,
not.
it could be. It could be it
Right.
could be that
So
the dolphins are good. The business is running. You get the new owner. The takeover price is $10 flat.
ooh. Mm-hmm.
You hear you say, "Oh." Suppose the takeover price is $10 flat. They get the 79% at $10, and new owner. Oh, and also next week, boom, Q1 also bad.
But all right. All right. So I thought about those except for the $10. That's why I said, "Oh, that one throw me off." All right. So let me tell you what I would do.
You're hoping that the takeover price is higher than $10 or 11 or 12, right?
Right. I'm
Suppose it's
hoping
not.
that it is. If it is, that'll give me a profit point right there. If it's not, I think I would still. If it's not, I don't think I would sell. I don't think I would sell, but I know that I still have another profit point that I was waiting for, with waiting to see what the new owner cares about. Where will they put their money? And if I think that is going to cause enough hype, I think that's what I would do.
Dalvin Cook has never really been,
The hype stuff.
Hype stuff.
for the long. I mean,
But Last year, not last year. It was this year. Like I think right after they come and talk about it, I was talking with a friend. This person does not invest in stocks, doesn't know anything about the stock market. So I
Mm-hmm.
was telling him, say me I buy some Dolphin Cove stocks. So I talk regularly. I must say, bro, why you buy Dolphin Cove? Me say Dolphin Cove bad and them in a trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, my bro, he no invest in a stocks or anything. So. If you hear say bad, granted, bad news spread faster than good news still.
Mm-hmm.
Then,
Also, the bad news
I'm,
was in the actual news.
so you don't think that good news would make it to the actual news?
Me not to see any good news.
Hello, Selma boss.
Ja.
Good news is
I'm
not
just
as
trying to.
fun.
I was just trying to counter that point, like think like with my thoughts out loud to see how I could counter it to see if that makes sense.
Yeah, you know that it don't make sense. It makes sense to just say you have to think about the reality. Who cares about the good news?
Me want to care in the shareholder that we want to care about it, but
But you need some other shareholders with it to care.
Mhm.
Yeah, unless your pocket's
true,
that deep.
yeah.
Yeah, so
So
if
you
your
have to, you have
pockets
to
if your
give me
pocket's
some.
that
You have
deep,
to give me
cool.
some of the trans Jamaica money we use by the Q man.
Yeah, I'm some sell it already. Have bills, They want to sell it already, man. I mean, don't worry. I buy back. In fact, I did buy back some. Hey, Dana, that's a good little play. I'll talk about that little later, though. But yeah, I did buy back a little too. But yeah, I mean, I'm really, I like the Dolphin Cove play, but you see that little part that we talked about there at the end. You need to think through that part realistically, because that could happen.
True,
You could get a
true,
new
true.
owner and no one gets a damn.
That's
And think
true.
about everything that you hear in the news. Oil up. Yo, good news just doesn't sell. Oil is up. Gas, obviously, as a result, is up. And oil and gas may not mean everything go up. Consumer goods going up. Inflation go up. Inflation fell last quarter. And the reason it fell, the official reason given by, well, one of the main reasons given by Statin was that there was a decrease in the cost of the category is called, apologies if I have this wrong, but the category I think is housing, gas, and other things. Think about that.
Oh, because
Housing, gas.
there was a less money being put into the economy and those stuff. Interesting.
I leave that to the economists to say if you're correct with that sentence, but I just don't say the sector that caused inflation to go down is a sector that contain gas prices.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And inflation has a lag to it. So they're not telling us about right now, they're telling us about a little time in the past. So think about that. The thing that caused inflation officially to go down is a category that include gas prices. Think about how you feel about gas prices right now. You know what that next thing is coming to say. You know what the next set of inflation reports are coming to say, right? You already know ahead of time. And again, remember I say good news don't sell. So even when something is good, people look at it as bad. People complain about the gas prices, but they love the fiscal share price or the RPL share price, right? Boy, nobody now drive no way. How is Trans-Jamaica making 46% more, right? Everything costs more. Guess who sell everything? Separate. CPJ, GK, the bank them thief. Scotia is listed. NCB is listed. Barita is listed. Right? So people complain about the actual good things. So you have to, if you're really serious about the Dolphin Cove, I think you're serious about it. I like how you sound serious about it. You have to explore the bad case along with the good case. Because oftentimes though, I don't know, then you can't tell me if I have this wrong. I mean, I feel like we make more money off the bad case things than the good case.
Oh, very often. Yep.
Yeah, you can make 20 to 30% off the good case. The bad case though, proper. And the bad case that everybody then realizes later on is actually a good thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, wonderful. But if everybody is excited about that thing, it doesn't always have the same sort of uplift to it, except for Trans-Jamaica, which maybe is a good segue for Dale to jump in. Dale has been waiting patiently. Maybe too
All right.
patient.
Cool.
Yeah,
I
man.
mean,
Big up the intro. I mean, you're here too, so you
yeah.
can jump back in
Man.
whenever you're ready.
You can always talk, yeah.
Yeah, I'll jump back in on another thing still. It's fine.
All right, cool. Sir Dale, how you doing?
Yeah,
So
I'm
good.
here.
That's good.
And I'm not jumping in about TJH. TJH will just,
You see, me you go
you
to
know,
TGH because
you know my,
TGH
you know
already.
my, Nike has a saying, just do it.
Yeah.
And my saying with Transmaker from ever since was just bite.
Okay.
And I just bite. I mean, that's it.
So like
That's
a man who achieving
keeping it
pension
simple.
early.
Keeping it simple, actually pulled my pension statement recently, got my pension statement.
Right.
And my returns, the value of my Transjamaica shares, and everything that I've invested in it is quite a bit more than what I've contributed to pension.
Oh, okay.
At this company. And I've been at this company for 15 years.
Wow.
So,
so 15
the
years
balance,
of pension payroll contributions is
less
smaller
than
than
the value
what
of the Transjamaica shares.
your value of Transjamaica shares.
Yeah, well, not only my contribution and the company's contribution.
Oh, so the
matching.
Yeah.
I don't think you can give people a better pension point than that. So your own pension people.
I'll tell you something. I have a bunch of very close friends, co-workers who have been preaching to constantly. Guys, open an account and whatever you can afford, put it there every end of the month. Buy Transjamaica. Buy Transjamaica. And I keep preaching it. So when it hit $8, I sent out a WhatsApp to everybody. And what you posted, Randy, if you had contributed $10,000, if you had bought $10,000 every month from IPO to now, this would have been your return. And if you reinvested all your dividends, this is what the return. And I sent it to 8 or 9 people. And one person responded. A good friend of mine, she responded. I said, I remember you telling me about this about 2 or 3 years ago. And every month I buy 1,000 shares. She don't buy $10,000 value. She buy 1,000 shares every month.
The share count.
Right. And she said, I am seeing the benefits now. And she sent back a big smiley face and thing. And I said, one person out of 9 persons.
So it often go, you catch one.
So one other person did buy 50,000 shares when it was at 350 and never added to it.
Never again.
Another girl sold 2 shares that were at a loss. She showed me her portfolio. I said, get rid of those 2 and drop it in Transmaker. So she made quite a bit of money on that, but she never added anymore. And one 20-year-old that worked with me, 20 years old, heard me talking about it to somebody else. And she went to JMMB and she started her little account with, must have been $5,000 or $10,000. And the other day I saw her and I said, hey, show me your phone right now. And she was up like 48% at the time, but she was still contributing. Not much, because I said to her, don't stress yourself out. You're 20 years old. Whatever you can afford, put something. And don't be ashamed. If it's $2,000 you have, put $2,000. If it's $3,000, if it's $5,000, what is important is that you do it consistently, because you're going to develop a habit. And as you go along and you make more money, you will see the returns and you'll put more money. And you're 20 years old. At 40, if I'm still alive, you give me a call and tell me where you are. You're 20 and this is a good habit you're starting.
It's a massive habit to start. I agree with you. It is one of the best habits you can have. So yeah, like I tell people all the time, like when I do grow, one of the things I used to back in the day, I used to tell people I don't care about dividends, which used to be true. I have changed. I have updated my stance on that. But I also used to tell people I don't care about savings, and I still don't. And that's not like I don't care about savings. It's just, I guess my personality doesn't lend itself to that. I'm one of those people who I can save towards something, but I can't just save with nothing in mind, right? And I don't think I'm the only one. A lot of people are like that. I respect the people who can just or save for saving's sake. That's a good thing to have, and that's not me. I can save for a shoes or I can save for a car, but just save with no goal, I can't do it. But I say all of that to say that the discipline of saving is something I respect. And DCA, which is the thing that you described that your friend is doing, it makes it and the discipline of saving is like a cheat code for life. You pick the right security and you dollar cost average it. Like you say, you just buy the same amount every single month, regardless of price. It's better than savings. It's better than every single savings account out there.
I'll tell you, it's the best cheat code. I call it a cheat code because I don't maintain a lot of money in a savings account. I have money for emergencies, but if I go above a certain amount and I have extra cash, I save it on the stock market, and it's that one stock. So if something comes up and I need $500,000 tomorrow to do something, it's the easiest thing to say, okay, let me sell $500,000, transfer it out, I get it in 2 days, I deal with that, what I have to deal with. So it's part DCA, part savings account. Because if I drop $500,000 in a bank account, there's no interest on it. There's no interest. But if I dropped $500,000 in when government disposed of their shares at $3.65, and I pull it out today, that's what, 140% increase from last September until now. Come on, that 365,000 that I put in yesterday, it was valued at $840,000. So that was the savings that I put on. So when I draw my 350, I still have money left back. I have more than the money that I put in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
more.
Yeah. So the savings account, my stock trading account is my savings account also.
Look at that.
So if the money not working, I ain't putting it there.
Look at that.
I ain't putting it there. So the other 8 people just respond, yeah, man, they're opening their account next week and thing. I said, my God, the amount of money you could have earned over the past 3, 4, 5 years. But I'm encouraging you guys.
Convinced until, you know.
I swear maybe the hardest thing to do is to start. Because everybody's saying, oh, I need a $50,000 to start, or I need $100,000 to start. Hey, when I trekked into Victoria Mutual Wealth Management one day, I walked in with $10,000. Because my thing is, if I don't start now, I will never start. And if I have $5,000 to set over the end of this month, me no shame is $5,000 going over.
Exactly. That's a great
point. And if it's 10, and if it's 50, and if it's 150, fine.
Take care of more than your own pocket, you know.
But if it's $5,000, it's $5,000 and it going there.
Yeah, I love that attitude because one of the things that happened years back when I was trying to popularize DCA, people say, yeah, but 10 grand, I know nothing that.
I know nothing that.
Yeah, I know nothing that. Very easy for us to say. 10 grand, everybody, I know everybody on Twitter is rich, but it's a little disconcerting sometimes to hear that 10 grand that, and what about poor people? That one annoyed me the most. What about poor people? Maybe it's because I never grew up rich, but what about poor people? Like, poor people don't need you to speak for them. I have no people speaking for poor people. The truth is, if you're poor and you can only afford, I can only afford $50. Okay, if you can only afford $50 and you were putting $50 a month into Trans Jamaica, let's say no, you'd have. Let's not even guess. Let's see exactly how much you'd have if you're putting $50 a month in Trans Jamaica. Or I'll put that close now.
You can't bigger than your own pocket. You can't tell me think on money that. But that means if on a money that, then are you saying you can put more? Then go forth.
Exactly.
If all you can put is 10 grand, then work with the 10 grand.
Yeah, I stop worrying about somebody else's pocket.
Put in whatever you can afford. When you get paid, you know what your bills are like. You know what your spending money is like. You know what your rum shop money is going to be like. but you put aside that little bit so that you don't have to read it again before the end of next month. Whatever you can manage.
Exactly. And if all you can afford is the 10 grand, then when you get 15 grand, somebody said 15 grand on the money that to somebody who can only afford 10 grand, 15 grand is
15 grand on money.
That's
yeah,
money.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, I have a friend working in Cayman. Went away to work, will come back in another couple of years. And he sent me 100 Caymanian dollars and said, buy some shares for me. Write on your account. When I come over, I set up my account, you port it over to my account. He sent, it worked out to about 15 or 16,000 Jamaican dollars. And everything came up. School fee come up, and them going to Panama with some friends, and $15,000 I put it down. And I made a single line entry. I said, Michael. This is Michael's share. And I called Michael. I said, Michael. I don't call him last name. I said,
Okay.
I called Michael yesterday. I said, Michael, do you know your $15,000 now $29,000? And you have not put 1 cent on and bought anything else. And him said, boy, coming next month, carry me to go set up my account so I can transfer. I say, you bought it once. So you have given up all of these gains by not being consistent. Yeah, but as I said to all of them, I can carry you to the water, but I can't force you to drink.
Yeah,
I can't force you to drink.
It's a real worry. And I mean, we've spoken about this many times. No, go ahead.
I'm a good enough friend. I'm a great friend to say, I told you so. I told you so many times.
Yeah. The truth is, sometimes you need a friend that will say that, Sometimes you need a friend that will say that. Not some. Maybe it's just me. I need a friend sometimes that will say that. It's not nice to hear it, but if you're living through the experiences of having not listened, then somebody should say it to you. You can say it to yourself in your head anyway. And if you don't say it to yourself in your head, you're going to suffer. So might as well you have the friend who will do it for you and will also point and say, I told you so, And what I've found is that, like, it's never too late. Again, it's not like it's done now. As much as Jamaica is a wonderful story right now, it still has more to go.
Yes, it does.
And it will continue to have more to go. Like Dana and I were talking, I think you were hearing us earlier, we were talking about, maybe a little deeper point, but, a lot of the things that drive, a lot of things that could be driving the stock, we're thinking about, what could cause them to stop doing that. But even my most pessimistic case, 1 or 2 years, 1 or 2 years, and then if it just goes stable, if it just, I say stable, if it plateaus,
it becomes a different kind of play.
Exactly. As it goes right back to the thing that Dale talking about. Dale, you did a lot of your building up of the TGH stake in like 2021 and 2022 when nobody was talking about Trans Jamaica, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, when it was the boring stock, when it was the failed stock. So you got a lot of dollar and 10, 20, 30 cents.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the first purchase was $1.50 or so, because I was in RPL with another good friend of mine. We talk every day, and it's mostly about the market we talk about. And he and I were in RPL, and then I made a jump to Trans Jamaica. And I think I've told this story many times, where they had a company called the JIO, and they acquired JIO. Correct. And JIO was costing them like $3 million a year. True. And when I saw that, I said, hey, $3 million disappears.
Correct.
That $3 million would be disappearing, and that will go straight to the bottom line. Correct. I think working in accounts, having a cousin who was a finance egghead and who read a lot and had a lot of conversations with me, being in accounts and the financial control that I work with at my first job took me under his wings. So he would show me, when you had excess cash in the business, what you do, you lock it up on 15-day CD back then, back in the late 80s, early 90s. You bought You buck up $3 million in the account, you look at what you have to pay out this week, and you realize you're going to have this excess cash for the next 15, 20 days before you have to pay big bills. You lock it up on a 15-day CD. Back then, when interest rates were pretty high, you get it released in 15 days and you have this extra money. You're doing your final accounts and you know that you're going to have extra cost at the end of the financial year. So you accrue some of the expenses on the profit and loss. So when you do the stock count and you end up with a stock adjustment, you use that accrual and you don't have to worry about having a sudden loss for the quarter or for the month. So he taught me a lot of those. And I got into sales and marketing, learned about building brands and, equity, return on investment and stuff like that. The whole work experience, I think, without being a finance guy like you guys, I mean, I can read the financials and come to certain conclusions. I can
Then you're a
read the
finance
cash flow
guy.
statement. No, I'm not. I'm an accountant / sales rep.
That's what a finance guy is. A true finance person is somebody
Trust me.
who can read the financials and actually understand them. And the ability to translate what you see in those financials to what you see in real life and vice versa is the
And I'll tell you something. One person that I met on Twitter who has educated me, who, when I read his articles, I mean, you get a joy just reading his articles and the way that he breaks down things. David Rose. David Rose. And reading his articles and having conversations with him, it just breaks down everything and it makes it so simple to understand, and things. So
David has a lot of knowledge. I mean, we've had David on the interview David on here. David used to actually write for Evermickle, but he has a lot of knowledge. So if you also have the knowledge and you have that practical understanding, and you talk to David, I mean, you said, and then he has. Dana and I have said this before. The episode is actually up. People can go listen to it. He has the ability to just recall, like, I don't know what Dolphin Cove's debt is as at the end of the third quarter 2024. I don't, but David knows.
But David does. Yep.
Down to the cent. So he's like, if you have that kind of trove, that sort of treasure trove of data, you scan David the data done, then you can't go wrong. I remember asking him. I remember asking this. I asked him at the time he was still in school, I think, and he was doing medical physics, something like that. Something like medical physics. But I've never heard him say anything about medical physics, right? Everything, David, for his stock market and financials. So I was like, yo, what? Not worried him because he was near the end of his program at the time. So I was asking, what are you going to do? Because I think you're going to do any medical physics or anything like that. And here we are in 2026. I still never heard him say anything about medical physics, right? So I think him finding true calling and it pulled him regardless. That level of data knowledge that he has is something else. It's not. There's very few people who have it. And like I said, that paired with Dale, your maybe it's the sales, that understanding of like what the receivable is in a real way, right?
Yeah.
The receivable is bad or the receivable is big, but you know that. But listen, but 30% of it is with one customer who is bigger or Papi. He's got to pay, right? Bigger or Papi, he can afford to pay. And don't watch it. It's gonna come in. If it come in late, it's gonna come in great. And you understand in a real way something that many people only understand as a number on the page or on the screen, and it's not real to them. So you are a finance person. And I say that because I don't think I'm a finance person at all. maybe Dana is probably like a legit finance person. And I don't know. Dana, you consider yourself a finance person?
Depending what you call a finance person, but
financial analyst, I mean, somebody who can analyze at a glance and understand easily.
That's exactly what you did.
Well, it takes a little more effort on my part because sometimes I'm reading and I go back and I say, okay, what did I just read? And I go back 2 or 3 times. Okay, I get most of it, but I get enough of it, so I understand.
Well, but you know what? That's all of us, you know. That's all of us.
Yep.
'Cause that's me too. I think the mistake a lot of people make is to think that it's easy. It's easy. It's simple, but it's not always easy. Yes, some of the stuff is easy, and when you know it, it's easy. But the biggest obstacle I find is people thinking that they don't know how to do it. But if you're a Jamaican or if you're in the Caribbean or anything like that, you already know more than enough to do it. All I said goes, if you can go shop and come back with the right change, you know more than enough to be a financial analyst. Because that is harder. Living in Jamaica is harder. Living in the Caribbean is harder. And the things you have to know are practical things that help you in this. But we tend to think that it requires something else, which, not that there aren't difficult parts, but you already have the hard part done. So don't be so hard on yourself, rich man.
Must be rich with friendship, you know, because I still need more money. But my blow up gift, my blow up, you know, I'm looking at. Sometimes I look at companies and I wonder why their shares don't appreciate by much. Companies that are doing billions per month, billions per quarter, companies that are acquiring companies that are consolidated, that are building. I see Wisinko adding the beer category and all of those, and I see you post the dot, you know, the dot. But then I never see the dot translate into real movement in their share prices. And really, Wisinko is a monster of a company already. When I am in retail and when I see the business that they do in one of my larger accounts, it's mind-boggling the range that they carry. Right? When I look at separate acquiring AS Bryden and then acquiring CPJ. And then they fold the CPJ business into Facey and eliminate a lot of cost. So, you know, you have a slightly expanded team doing both the Facey and the CPJ business now. So they have eliminated a lot of cost. And
you've given,
you know,
the CPJ product line an extremely broader surface to touch. CPJ couldn't touch the Facey distribution points that they now can.
Yeah, they did a pretty good job with A and B stores, with what we call in retail A and B stores. But an organization set up like a Facey, a Grace Kennedy.
Sorry to cut you, but what's that? What do you guys call A and B stores? So everybody's on.
Right, A and B store. A store would be like a Sovereign, a General Food, a Low Shoes and Barbican.
Okay.
You categorize stores. B stores would be a step down. Would be a B store. You see, I only deal with A stores, you know, so I would know how to categorize.
You're from the Jamaica dividend lick, you know,
man. Not to be boastful, but I've been in the business a lot, so I mostly deal with A stores.
Okay. So top lines of one example of a B store. So is a wholesale like a B store, or a large wholesale is like a B store?
Some wholesale would be B stores, yeah. Bigger would be A, Papin, of course.
Yeah.
And then you have C stores and you have down the trade. Well, C stores, I guess, would be like gas station shops, stuff like that.
Okay.
Little tuck shops. Then you have down the trade, which is downtown. And some people have another down the trade, meaning smaller shops and things. Then some people even take it further and say down the street, DTS. So that is really getting van sales to go to all possible locations and selling. So you really have a really long distribution tail. You get as much customers as you possibly can. And people like National would do that. You see the National trucks going around and they have the route and they deliver and they stop by the bridge in Temple Hall or wherever. And Mass John from down the road will come up and buy one bread. And the lady from the shop will come buy a dozen bread and stuff like that. So when you look at companies like Facey, Sunshine Snacks, these guys have robust distribution network set up. But then, you know, I see somebody like a Wisinko adding products. I see separate buying companies and consolidating. I see Lasco Manufacturing and Lasco Distributors doing good profits and thing with carrying practically no debt.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look at the share prices and you don't see them appreciating.
Correct.
We see them between a certain band.
Correct.
And you're like, how dynamic really is the market if these companies are doing billions in profit, but it's never reflected in the share price?
True. Well, that's our market reality. That's why you often hear we talk about, you often hear us talk about the difference between the share price and the company.
And the company. Yep.
Yeah, right. You mentioned Lasco Manufacturing. You also mentioned Wisynco as a great example. I often use the Wisynco example. Right? Easy way to show the Wisynco example is you jump back to June 2024, and Wisynco was $21 per share. You jump even further back. Let's say you go back. So you go back further than that. You jump to October. Well, that's further. That's further in the other direction. So you go to September 2022. Wisynco was $18 per share. You jump to November 2021. It was $17 per share. You jump to July 2020. It was $17.64 per share. You go back to 2019, and it was $16.17 per share. Now, there are two big spikes in the middle of that, where it went as high as 26 in 2019, and also May 2022, where it went to 24. But it's a $20 stock. $17 stock is what I used to call it. No, but we did it to a $20 stock. And we're looking 5-6 years back, $20 stock, you go all the way to IPO. And yet, outside of the IPO in 2017, then by the end of 2018, they're a $10 stock. They only did that big jump up to 20 odd, come back down to 17. And since then, 5, 6, 7, 8 years, they're just a $20 stock.
$19, $20. Yeah.
Yeah, 19. I mean, they are today, as we speak, Wisynco is at $19.49. It's a $20 stock. No, to compare that for anybody who is not understanding, just to give you some color as to what Dale is talking about. In that time, Wisynco going from 2018, 19, their profit was $2.9 billion a year. No. This year, they've so far they've only reported the last 3 quarters, and in the last 3 quarters that they reported 3.6 billion. In 3 quarters, they have 1 more quarter to report. Right, the whole of last year they gave us 3.4. The year before that, no, sorry, the whole of last year they gave us 4.4 billion in profit. The year before that they gave us 5.2 billion in profit. And as you heard Dale mentioning, Wisynco has gone into bear. And they also have a shared thing that they're doing with what's that?
Ringtail.
Say that again?
Ringtail, stone ginger
ringtail,
wine.
Ringtail stones.
And they rock. Stone, yeah, Ringtail. The owners of Stone, yeah, ginger wine.
Well, they are now the owners, right? Well, I shouldn't say they are.
Right.
They are bottling it. And I believe maybe at the family level, above the listed level, maybe they're owners. So the company is bigger than ever, making more money than ever. Revenue is up and to the right. Profit is up and to the right. The share price is down and to the right, or just meandering along. Yeah, so I've laid out a great picture. Now, your question, is your question around Wisynco, or your question is just generally around why?
It's generally around why. For a company that does well, and I'll tell you something. They've gone into beer. 9 out of 10 times when they go into a category, they do well. They're not a company that I mean, I remember years ago, Coca-Cola was a non-entity in the market. Back in the 90s, Pepsi controlled like 80% of the market. Island
Jamaica is a
Bottlers went
listed
out of
company.
business.
Yeah.
Island Bottlers went out of business. The portfolio of Coca-Cola got transferred to Musson. Musson handled it for a while and couldn't manage it. And then Wisynco went and picked it up. And Coca-Cola now and the related portfolio really dominate the market. It's probably a 50-50 split now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a company that takes a product and don't know what to do with it.
That's a fact.
And I think the relationship.
I used to buy Ocean Spray cranberry juice. It's been years since I've ever bought that. If you ask for cran, you're getting cran water.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, when Wisynco had Ocean Spray, when Wisynco lost Ocean Spray, Wisynco lost 50% of the business. 50% of their overall business when they lost Ocean Spray. Because remember when they came with cran water, their branding was Ocean Spray cran water.
Correct.
So they had tied in their product to this very strong brand name they had. But what happened? The people that did cranberry label in the States signed an agreement with Pepsi-Cola. And their workers were, Jamaica market is safe. They have done such a great job with it and thing. And I remember saying to one of them, whatever happens locally is at the beck and call of what happens internationally.
Yeah.
You can distribute a brand for 30 years, take it from non-existent in the market to number one in the market. But you see, if that company is acquired by somebody else, you can lose that distributorship after 30 years because of that acquisition.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with right. And I've seen it played out so many times in distribution. I've seen many companies get ravaged by somebody just acquiring a company overseas, and you get 6 months notice.
Yeah, it shifts.
That your number one, number two, and number three portfolio shifting.
Yeah.
In 6 months.
Yeah, because you might be like the parent company, you distribute the new parent company's competitor. So we're moving, or the parent company in Jamaica is distributed by your competitor. And because the parent company has shifted, that line now shifts to your competitor. It is what it is.
It happens, yeah. It happens a lot. It happens a lot in liquor.
Yeah. Happens in all sorts of businesses. In fact, I wonder if there's some recent market news that I wonder if it's linked to that. I suspect it's linked to that with Separate, but that might be a conversation for another time.
Separate recently bought out on who?
Well, they sold their biscuit company.
Yeah.
But they didn't say why, and they didn't say who they sold it to. And I have a pipe dream that we've been holding for years now, that there's something to do with maybe Bermudez, which is the international big company, and the fact that Seprad's biscuit company used to it does a lot of different brands, and I know how those international brands are. If we're coming in, you can also be distributing the competitor. You can also be, making this like it's just us. They're very jealous. They make it worth your while, but they're very jealous.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't have any great details on that. It's just you mentioned it and it came to my mind. Actually, I didn't know what to say, but I had half started saying it. So that it is what it is. But I take your point, and I'm going to answer your point. I think again, Travel with Brittany on YouTube kind of summarized your point very well. Your question. Well, she said, why doesn't the significant profit show in the stock price? I want to answer it, but I see Tab have him hand up, and I think it was in relation to something you were saying, Dale. So, Tab, what you're saying, and then I'll go and I'll at least give what I think the answer is.
Yeah, man. I know really that's why I'm gonna put up my hands still, but yeah, you talk about the reason. You basically answer him question and so many BrickTalk. It just come natural from me hear him say it, me just know exactly what your answer would look like because you say it so much time. But I really the thing about Wisynco where Dale did a reference as it relates to basically how good the company does and stuff like that, and the distribution network and things like that. And as a man in sales I wanted to ask him why in his opinion, why him think Wisynco do so well whenever them basically bring out a product or start to distribute a product. Why him think it do so well? Cause me then at the retail wholesale business, so as somebody who in there for so long, me I ask him, try to get an idea why him think Wisynco do so well.
Well, I think if you're in retail, you will already know why they do so well. The company's distribution network is really second to none. The way they set up the different divisions, and they have a laser focus sales and marketing team. They separate products. They have something called a modern trade, which is regular products, and they have another division that deal with frozen products and cold storage. They have a lot of people on the road. The merchandisers in the store do a lot of the sales. You have supervisors that follow up with them. They do rigorous monitoring. When it comes to shelf space, they practically count shelf spaces to make sure that they have the presence. They spend a lot of money. They spend a lot of money in ensuring that the products are placed exactly where they want to place it. They have a lot of their marketing people that they have are people that used to work in supermarkets also. I have met a lot of people. I used to work in Mando 20 odd years ago when I was at another company. And when I'm in Kingston, I meet those people in the trade. They were managers at supermarkets. Now they are brand managers at Wisynco. So they recruit a lot of people in the industry who know other people, right? So their networking is very, very, very good. And
yeah, but how you think? Mm-hmm.
But don't discount William Food. I've said it before on this program that William has been in the industry for a very, very long time. And when our people go to international trade shows and they are meeting with their principals and whoever, all the principals know William Food. All the largest supermarket distributors in Jamaica, when they go to dinner, they go to dinner in that environment with William Food and family. So the Low Shoe Sons who own Progressive and all these people high up in retail have a personal relationship with William Food. And I think a lot of people discount the amount of influence that William has in the industry. Years ago, there was a conflict with Trinidad, where a lot of people were complaining that our manufactured products was getting a fight back in Trinidad. Mm-hmm. And the backlash in Jamaica against Trinidadian products was swift. The local manufacturers, the local distributors, and local retail took offense. And Trinidadian products suffered on the Jamaican market, and local products had a surge. So the market is very dynamic, but Wisynco has a lot of pull because of the talent that they recruit, the detail that they pay. They pay attention to detail. They have excellent leadership, and they know what to do to make a product, to launch a product successfully, and to grow the business. So Wisynco, and it's not unique to Wisynco. Lasco also does it quite well. Grace Kennedy does it quite well. But Wisynco has that extra talent to push the products.
Separate does it.
What you know what I think is one of the biggest thing as a retailer. Why Wisynco? I mean, the distribution network is big because of the sales. So the network have to grow with the sales.
Yes,
so the sales is really as a result of the network. So them would have to get the business and I get all of that for the network get big. But one keen thing I realize Wisynco pay attention to, where probably 95% of the other companies don't pay attention to. Don't count out. You mentioned A and B stores earlier. And you realize a lot of them big companies, they talk to sales rep, them interests are only with certain things. don't count out with my food can up here. Remember me tell you that. You see them the corner store there? Them little lean up store there, little place them up we don't want to go. And I see up we don't want to sell them because the order small. That is Wisinko. Key.
Well, I'll tell you, that is not only with Cinco, you know. That is because I've worked with Grace Kennedy and World Brands, and that is Grace Kennedy and World Brands model also. That is also Sunshine Snacks. And I'll tell you,
I'm gonna give you a big thing. I understand what you say, but look how far I'm gonna put it now. Any one of them company, them make one of them corner shop personally try to contact the company and say them not getting any goods and see how far them reach. See how far that information reach to the company. And then now that same person contact Wisinko and tell Wisinko say them not get no goods and see how different that reaction is. The A&B store thing is real. A lot of them people are them kiss them teeth on certain things and turn them head. The reaction where you get from Wisinko with a smaller business, no care how small them man they chuck a reach there, them a do them thing, them a push out products. I always tell people, if a man walk in a little corner store and want a water to buy any brand of water in there, I eat him a take time thirsty. So no matter if Alaska water in there or water or whatever water it is. So if your company now ensures that the products they everywhere, you now will get the reach of Wisinko reach. And that's one of Wisinko key thing. He must make sure it's a theme thing there everywhere. Everywhere.
And you have to tell you the companies that introduce those concepts to Jamaica, the companies is not a Jamaican concept, you know. It's an international concept. It's a concept that people like Frito-Lay bring to Jamaica. Because in all their markets across the world, when you go into Central America and South America, DOMREP, that is what Frito-Lay does. They don't go down the trade. They go down the street. Remember I said earlier, down the street? Something is called down the trade where you go to B and C shops. But you have something else called down the street. And that even goes further to the corner shops and thing. And I was at World Brands when they were doing that, when they had van sales. And van sales was so big that van sales grew to be 30% of the business very quickly. Because there's a lot of money to be made going down market. So as I said, don't discount down market. Corner shops, they generate a lot of business.
Yeah, man, because if your product not there in a corner shop, you can't sell. When you go in at the ghetto, and every corner shop there, and when you look, every one of them you go in, you have one little new thing where DFL distribute named Soca. When I see it hit the market, wicked, everybody wants Soca in them store. When you walk in at this thing and say, give me a $100 soda and a man pop out a Soca and give you, eat a drink. You feel like you're going to tell him, say, you want D&G or you want this or that or whatever, pop out a corner shop, I get. So if you have a product and it now they in the store, them corner shop them and you, you know what, only 1,000 case me have. Let me just give the A store the 1,000 case. Just know say you damage your own product. And that's why Purity there with them they know. Me stop selling Purity products. May I tell you, I stop selling Purity products first in my community. And from me stop selling that gone to the dogs. Not the one Purity truck number that come up there. May I tell you that? Because
when I look at
remember in a COVID, the truck a fly past me. So me I said to the man, say, brother, what am to we? Oh, we not boy.
Anyway,
people themselves go in a soft tone. Me say, okay, all right, don't worry yourself. From that man, not one thing myself.
Purity is a company that I want to like because I know the owner, and the owner offered me a job once, and I didn't take it, but I mean, still a nice guy. Get along well with him and thing. But Purity is a company that I thought would be doing much better with a better share price. And we're hijacking Randy's show.
No,
and thing.
you're not.
No. You're right on topic. Continue, man.
Yeah, but you're right. You're in the right place.
This is good business.
And yeah, I'll tell you something. You know
exactly, and it's still a.
Yeah, I'll tell you something. Don't have
share price.
I've been in the business since 1994. And I know the business. I know National, I know Purity. Friends that I've worked with have gone on to work with National and others. I don't think there's any distribution company that is out there that I don't know. Yes, I know DFL and I know their products. I take their pictures regularly and send it to my people when I see new products on the market. Because we do a lot of competitive analysis. We look at all different categories before deciding on what to carry. But I agree with you. If you don't treat all customers equally, you can lose quite a bit. And money is money, business is business, sales is sales, and profit is profit. And if you have a product that can do very well down trade, you need to take down trade very seriously. And Wisynco does take down trade very seriously, and as does Facey. I know they have a robust van sales team, led by the chocolate that they distribute. They use that to help build out the system, and they are down trade. World Brands does it with Frito-Lay. Grace Kenny does it with their van sales. And the best of the lot is probably National and Sunshine Snacks.
And Carreras.
Off the top of my head. And Carreras.
Yeah.
Carreras with the little van with the man them in there and the security guard with the big shotgun.
Yeah. My time at Carreras, my time at Carreras, we used to look at Wisynco. It was known that Wisynco was the best. And so, I mean, you think about it, both of you have the great point, and I mill both of them together. It's the reality of Jamaica. Think about it. You can get white rum, credit, cigarette, white rum, credit, Craveny, Badman. You can get that everywhere. Any continent, you're never far away from it. You can get it everywhere, and that is literally a testament to the distribution of those companies. But the point that you made, Tav, around not forgetting the little man, or as Dale put it, the down trade, actually comes right back to the question that you asked about why some of those companies' share price don't reflect what we see from the company in the market, right? Now, not necessarily purity, although, purity, maybe not purity and Honeybun, I think are neck and neck. And I think the reality of Purity and Honeybun is that both of them are in a category where, even though they're both listed, they're not the big dog in that category. The big dog in that category is National. So both of them exist above what National allows them to still have. And it comes back to the market. You can't forget the little man. You can't forget the little man or woman. You can't forget the little person in what you're doing. And if you do, the share price reflects it. So while Wisynco, I never wish this on them, they have not had an APO, I'd never wish that on them. They have not had an APO, they do have a significantly large amount of units. And if you remember when they IPO'd, at the time, I believe when they IPO'd, it was the largest IPO of its time. I have that right, don't I?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think at the time it was, I hesitate to say it, I want to say around $7.87 per share for 784.5 million shares. $7.84 per share. $7.87 per share. So the IPO was for 6.17 billion. And this was years ago. And a large amount of it went out there. While Wisynco is the big bad dog that it is, the little man got a lot of Wisynco, right? A lot of people got a lot of Wisynco, a lot of pensions got a lot of Wisynco. And to this day, if you want to get Wisynco shares, it's not very difficult. Yeah, it's right there. There's always a nice supply. Right now, it's so funny, it's almost deceptively funny. There's 680,000 shares in Wisynco's sell queue. That includes even the shares that will trigger the break and the shares that you can't buy. But if you were to buy 300 and something thousand of that, if you were to buy half of that right now, by the next day it's right there. There's shares right there waiting for you. So in the case of Wisynco, it's just that it's so wide, the same way that the products are widely distributed, the shares are widely distributed. So anybody who wants it, the demand is easily filled. So until something major happens to cause the people that have it to not sell it, and the people that want it to want it really, really want. it's not gonna, the share price isn't gonna go up. And unfortunately, mere quote unquote mere good business isn't enough for people to want it. Everybody already know that Wisynco is a strong company. So
Give me something.
yeah, you have to give me something new.
Good companies are often used, but that's the reality of it. Going from bad to good means, I'm going from a state. You're not breaking your normalcy. If every day I check you're a good company, I'm not going to buy it tomorrow on just the same thing I knew yesterday.
I remember once when I was much younger, I remember once my boss praised a rep in a meeting. And afterwards I said, man, how come you don't praise me? Him said, boy, you do it every month. So I expect it of you. But this man doing it for the first time, so him deserve the praise, Why are you going to praise you for doing what you do? Yeah, you make the numbers, but you always make the numbers. So it's the norm for you, But and I guess that will apply to Grace Kennedy also. Because I remember years ago when Grace Kennedy only had 90 million shares on the market, 90 million shares on the market way in the old days. And now they have a hell of a lot more.
Well, what Grace Kennedy did, and that's a good point. GK did a stock split. In fact, they did more than one. In fact, the last time they did a stock split, I remember it was said, pardon me if my memory is bad here, but it was said at the time, it was the late great Don Webby who said that every few years, whenever the share price gets a little too nominally out of the reach of the little man, they'll split it.
Split it, yep.
Yeah, no, that hasn't happened since, and I'm sure he's gone now, and things have
different minds.
Yeah, changed it in how they're doing it, but that sort of thinking, you can understand why GK share price is where it is. A good example of how a good known blue chip strong company can have a share price that flies is NCB a couple years ago, when it was going through every rumor mill that NCB, which is true, was trying to list on the NASDAQ. As much as everybody could have NCB shares, the NCB shares went all the way up to 100 odd, right? Almost 200 per share.
Almost 200, almost 250 at one time, I think.
Exactly. Off simply the demand for it being extremely high. And so the people who already have it, I don't want to sell this. In fact, I want more. So the thing that you could have get easily yesterday, you can get it easily again today, but you're going to have to pay a nice price for it. Unless something like that happens with one of these companies, you're not going to see the share price fly. So just off good business, good business isn't enough to do anything. Or they pay dividends. That's great. They have a nice dividend in Wisynco, 1% every 2 quarters. That's a nice thing. You can build a pension off that. But if you think about it, Wisynco IPO'd, as I showed just now when we're looking at the prospectus of all the prospectuses on My Money J. If you look at the prospectus, $7.87 per share, right? And now Wisynco pays out dividends of, last year was 46 cents per share. That 46 cents per share against the $7.87, that's a 5.8% dividend yield. That would be one of the best dividends on the market if you had a lot from IPO, right? That's a strong dividend.
Yeah.
But that alone isn't going to be enough to send the share price up. You need something else. If Wisynco were to buy Seprod, right? That would, if the day that headline hits the news, Wisynco would go to 100. No joke.
As highly unlikely as that is to happen.
Yeah, I think it's highly unlikely that's too advanced.
That shows the kind of things you have to do when you're at a certain level. As I say, it takes more to surprise when you're doing so well already.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's why Wisynco buying Ringtail, which is essentially them buying Stone's ginger wine worldwide, if I remember correctly. Like that is not just for Jamaica, it's the worldwide brand. That's great, but that's what we expect of you. You're William Mafood, you do great things. Yeah, you bought Ringtail, that's great. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that dividend.
Yeah, again next time.
Yeah, man. Yeah, right. That's not it. But if even Lasco has the same sort of thing. We have such great expectations of Lasco that I don't know. Although I think if Separate buys Lasco, then you might have the share price. Lasco's share price might fly. Separate's share price may not fly. Or it might jump up to 80 or 90 and come back down. But Last M's or Last D's or both of them share price will fly if that were to happen. Fingers crossed. You think that could happen? You always seem to have your ear to the ground.
No, I think the largest distributors in Jamaica will be Seprod, and Seprod includes Seprod, Facey, Geddes Grant, and all the other associate companies.
Below them, but you don't think they'll buy?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think Lascelles Chin's dream was to be a big independent distributor, and the dream continues. They have a very strong management team out there, John Steele and others. I expect them to keep.
If I remember correctly, Seprod just headhunted the Lasco CEO.
Yeah, he went to Seprod, right? Because he was at Unilever Caribbean before, went to Lasco, and I think he's at Seprod now. Is he at Seprod? No, he changed companies recently.
That's Seprod.
Yes, Brad.
Where did he go?
Yes, Brad.
Yes, Brad. Yeah, Seprod.
That's Seprod.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a subsidiary of CPJ, which is a subsidiary of Seprod.
So what do you think is not going to be? Why do you think that they're not going to buy Last M or Last D?
I don't know if they're going to buy it. I think it's highly unlikely. I think it's highly unlikely.
I think I wouldn't put the highly in there, but that's my view. But you can hear. I like hearing yours.
Yeah, I mean the dynamics, the ownership structure. It's unlikely. The family members own quite a bit of shares of the company still.
But the guy whose dream it was, rest in peace, but he's gone.
Yeah, unless the family don't want anything to do with it going forward. I know a couple of members of the family. I doubt it. They're pretty proud of it.
Change your mind, my brother.
I know. Money talks and bull squat walks,
Yeah.
But and we have seen that happen in the Caribbean already, there's a big man. We see Carlisle in Barbados was bought out by Agostini. Agostini is becoming a big powerhouse in Jamaica now. No, Agostini.
No, I know, but I'm saying as is Seprod.
Yeah. Agostini has spent the last 5-6 years buying up a lot of distributors in the Eastern Caribbean, and now they've entered the Jamaican market.
You know the distributors in the Eastern Caribbean that they couldn't buy?
That they couldn't buy?
Yeah.
Well, I know some of the companies in the smaller islands that they bought out.
Well, the ones that they couldn't buy were bought by Seprod.
Yeah.
Like there's a giant being put together in front of our eyes, I don't know. Because again, I'm pushing that last end point. If you told me 10 years ago, maybe it's not the same, but it's not like the CPJ family, the Hart family, they're not lightweights either. And what CPJ now? They're within Seprod. Mark Hart is on Seprod's board. So
still, didn't he leave the board?
I think one person left the board. I don't think it was him.
Oh, it was the other partner. It was Mark Hart and
Tyler. Tyler left the board.
Tyler. Tom Tyler. Yeah.
Yeah, but I believe Mark Hart is on the board. So I mean, there's a certain, if you truly care about a business and there's a level that you want it to go to, sometimes partnering with somebody who is on that level or can truly bring you to that level is part of it, to take a board seat.
Can I tell you though that CPJ was shopped around for a while?
It may have been, but we see who bought it. So I'm saying, Lascelles Chin, whatever Lascelles Chin in his time alive, on his own, I mean, he helped create his dream was huge.
One day I'll tell you, Randy, which company turned it on because they didn't think it was very good. But that is for me to tell you.
It's off your channel. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. because they didn't think it was a good enough deal.
Well, Seprod obviously has found some value in it, and I think there's a lot more value to come. But let's see, who knows? A couple of months, maybe I'll be right about that last deal, last same thing. I
think
very interesting that they poached the guy.
I think the separate deal was because they had bought Ace Bryden, and they bought a company called Stansfeld Scott. So Stansfeld Scott would dovetail into CPJ,
correct,
and into Ace Bryden, and
correct.
those three companies would be strong with the three of them together.
Correct, and also with their biggest brand, which was the Stones ginger wine brand,
right?
And
so
bottling.
I understand why they would have bought CPJ. Yeah,
but why not buy? If I buy last D, if I'm Seprod and I buy last D and last M is manufacturing that integrates into what I already do. Last D, like I can rival, although I already do, but I rival with Cinco, and I also. It's all economies of scale. It's nothing that they're not doing already. In fact, that's probably the best and biggest and easiest way for them to grow.
Mm-hmm.
They can challenge last D, or they can just buy last D. That's how they got into hotels. They needed a proper presence in the hotel sector. CPJ's main presence is in the hotel sector.
Yep.
No,
and I can tell you, CPJ did a lot of distribution for Facey in the hotel sector.
Look how that worked out.
So, because they were so strong in the hotel sector, Facey would supply them with milk. Because when I went to the hotels, I would see a lot of American milk being poured, and realized that there was an arrangement. We supply with the milk, you unsupply to the hotels because you're strong in hotels. So instead of us spending money to send a rep there and to deliver there and thing, we give you the price, discounted price, and you unsell to the hotels.
All right.
So that arrangement was already in place.
Check and see if there isn't any arrangements of similar nature between Last D and Seprod.
Yeah, I think I already know the answer to that. But I'll know the long.
All right. Well, I hope
broker relationships in common. Yeah?
They do have, but that one kind of easy because there's so few brokers. Well, maybe I don't know the ones you're talking about, Phil. That's Phil, right?
Yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
What's the broker relationships?
I mean, we all know Mayberry brokered that deal with CPJ.
And so, correct.
Mayberry also has
relationship with Lascaux, and they own some.
Heavy broker
I think they listed the Lascaux.
They listed the three Lascaux.
Yep.
And they brokered a big loan deal with Seprod as well as Ace Bryden last year.
For debt?
Yeah, it's in the MGL thing for debt, yeah. Which kind of go under the radar, right? I mean, everybody hears about the equity deals, but they put it in their MGL's annual report. So there is, and I mean, yeah. So there is a established relationship between Mayberry and I guess the Musson Group, and so it wouldn't be far fetched, you know. It's far. Like you said, one of the it's not easy, but one of the most, you know, practical ways for these companies to grow when they're at that scale is to acquire rather than, you know, just the organic growth.
I've always said that Musson is a monster of a company, because if you look at all the subsidiaries that they own, you probably don't know half of what they own. You know, Musson is a monster conglomerate.
I agree with you there. PV Scott, and it's still growing.
And it's still growing.
Yeah.
They own one company called PBS, and PBS is in nearly all Latin American countries.
Correct.
And Caribbean countries. And that is just a piece of the puzzle. So Musson is a very quiet monster of a conglomerate.
And the owner parish. I like that, but the simpler answer to your question, which the people don't like, but the truth is that it's the little man. It's that if the little man has too much of something, then it's hard to get the little man to buy more, unless there's some big news. And I think that is the thing there with all those big companies. You name it, that's why the blue chips don't blow up. Unless something massive happens news-wise, blue chips don't blow up. They stay where they are and they give you the gains that you get. Panjam is another example, right? They stay with Panjam. And also any idea that people have that everybody have. Like everybody know everything in Jamaica must come through the wharf. So let's buy Kingston Wharves. Everybody has that idea. It's very easy to buy Kingston Wharves. As a result, Kingston Wharves share price does not move. Maybe that will change soon, but I don't know. They also look very APOish to me, so I don't know. But I think that's the real reason, though.
Sometimes I look at some companies and they report their quarter earnings, and I look at the sales and I'm like, I calculate it to monthly sales. And I'm like, heck, I'm doing half the sales that they're doing for a month that they're doing for. I mean, when I look at the sales that my department does, is more than the sales that they do for a quarter. I'm like, wow, and they're up 25%.
You need to talk to the boss about listing your department.
And David says to me, oh, look at it, put it in this context,
Yeah, the context is that the reality of the market is people. And once you remember that, the market becomes a whole lot easier. And a whole lot more harder.
The truth is that we don't make money off our company revenue still, so that's one of the things. The revenue there and the whole heap of money there, but if it not going out the way where the shareholders can make money off it, then not really expect the share price to move really. Because they can make a lot of money. Huh?
As Randy is fond of saying, the market is the market. And it's not only profit and thing push share prices. It's the market is the market. It's people push it.
People, exactly. And once you do that, man, it make a lot of sense.
Exactly. And we also see the limitations of the profit. And as we've seen for some other things like the paper profits. But yeah, thank you very, very, very much for that video.
Yes. Great points all around.
Yeah. Amazing points all around here. I thank you, everybody else who jump in. Brick Cutter, I see you jump on, but before you talk, Brick Cutter, DeAndre, you had put your hand up. You had something that you were saying? Or you forget the point?
No, I do remember, but I have to tell Dale, I learned a lot just listening from his years of experience and just knowledge across different sectors as well. But yeah, I think what I was gonna say at the time, it was just a small point. It was just you guys were saying, talking about the different financial terms, and just hearing you guys mention that, something that I have to do all the time is when I read these things, I have to translate it back into English, into what I can understand, what I understand. To say, okay, when I read this, what does this mean for me in simple terms? So it took me a little while some of the times. It's like I'm reading and translating from Spanish back to English, you know what I mean? And then when hear you guys say, it's something you do from time to time. It was a little bit of a relief, if I should put it that way.
That's funny.
So yeah, that was it.
Yeah, big up the Andrew.
Well, Phil can go. If there's any time, if I'll probably just say something else, specific to I'm sorry, she is not here tonight, though, man.
Yeah, sorry, she's not here, but she's handling a couple of things, so she'll be back when she's ready.
Yeah.
Like you said there, DeAndre. You see that thing that you do where you say you understand, so it's like in Spanish, you have to bring it back to yourself in real talk. That is, that's analysis. That's all it is. Yeah, just
what
bring
it really mean?
Yeah, literally what I just said. That's what it really mean.
Yep.
Yeah, I ask myself that all the time. Like I say that, especially a little tip for anybody listening, especially when you read the news, you hear any of those things that sound big, everybody repeating it, and you even repeat it too. Just pause and say, "Yo, what does it really mean?" and go deeper into it. If you think about it, last year, when Dana and I were talking, I said, yo, I'm already sick of the new leg. Just everybody say new leg, new leg, new leg. What I really mean. But we're starting to see what I really mean, right? I mean 46% higher post-tax profits.
Profits. Yep.
Yeah. What it really mean. Like going into what the new leg really mean, it gives you a deeper idea of the reality of Jamaica. And you think about it, what that really mean. What then does the new leg really mean if them raise the prices? Because if them raise the prices, them raising the prices, right? And I don't think they're going, I mean, they could, but I don't think they're going to raise the prices on the old leg. I think they're just going to raise the total prices, which means the new leg might have a newer price. What does that really mean?
It means it costs me more to go and visit my parents.
Yeah, but your costs don't matter to me until them pay it out as dividend. So
I know, I was just being.
I know,
I
but
was
I'm also
joking.
being real because that's the real
Yeah,
thing
yeah.
is it does cost you more to see your parents, but guess what? It don't matter how much them put on it, you're gonna drive that way and go and see your parents. Yeah, you love your parents more than you love the toll. You hate the toll price.
Yep.
True.
So that tells me that there's continuity of revenue there, and continuity of revenue sounds fancy, but I love my parents, so I'm gonna go see them. It's something that we can all understand, and the two of those things are the same thing. So that's all analysis is. It's not that hard, but I'm not a finance person, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, speaking of analysis, I have to say that I've been on the premium version of Randy now for about a month now, and
My money
it's not
for
an ad. Yeah, man, Randy never sent me a message after I come out, come to our ad. You understand?
They're not gonna believe that.
not gonna believe that.
Bro, just the things that I'm able to just do quickly. Like I love the calculation, but it's just like I have AI now that help me write code. I can do some things very quickly and some access to information. I like to call it time traveling, where I just go down through the queues and look at it. Like say at a day last year around something that happened and just look at how these transactions happen
Yeah.
and all of those things. And it really, really, really helpful. In this particular scenario though was when I jump on in March, that's why I said I wish Shay was here. Um, and I was talking about what I was going to do with Fisco and SVL, and I was at a SVL loss. And ran this, Shay first said, "You put the SVL order in already?" And I said, "No." I ran this, "Why you hugging up the loss?" And bro, I say, "Yeah, man, I understand." And it dawned on me in April. April, I went back and I went and listened that specific section, that about 15 minutes worth of conversation. I went and listened to it, and that's when I actually get it. And I started to understand. So that's when I started to get it. I started to get it back then. I did sell the SVL. They made the first come money. They sell they put in the SVL same time after I come out. But I never, in the back of my head, I dismissed the fact that I had another loss in SVL. Sorry, not SVL, MFS. MFS. But when Dana said, you're hugging up the loss, you never come to me. Weeks after, I mean, I spoke me down someone over MFS. And I sat there. By this time, now MFS would have already done a little rise and come back down, and I missed that. And I sat there, man, for about 2 weeks looking at the MFS every day. I mean, I say, yeah, man, you know,
Very
so
good, man.
we can sell it. I mean, I say, no, me, I hug up this same way. And 2 weeks, 3 weeks. And it was until the end of April thereabout. But finally sell it. And I have to look at myself I mean, I say, why did it take so long for me to release it? And I'm saying, well, as I'm comparing how I felt about it and SVL. SVL also was smaller. And I'm saying, these are just some of the chain of thoughts I'm going through in my mind. And I'm saying, well, I'm probably thinking that I could make back the SVL loss quicker. And I can make by the MFS loss, because the MFS loss was about 35%, MFS loss was about 15%. But they were larger nominally, not just percentage wise. And I'm saying probably me I say, well, but they probably don't have the skill set to make back the
Stop doubt,
35% worth.
brother. Stop,
Yeah.
stop
So
doubt
so
yourself.
so I, so I feel like it was those thoughts going through my mind, and I get up man and I sell it. And it's another point now, the same 15 minutes I went back and listened to where she and Dana say, if you're giving yourself more work to do with making up the SPL, as if you had sell the SPL and put it on the FESCO, you'd make back even more. And I say, yeah,
Mm.
man, this is the same applicable perspective, right? You can apply it to this as well. I sell the MFS last, and I using the tools on it and my money. So what I do sometimes is like, yeah, you can, I'll just go in and I went on. I know say, all right, if I make 10%, 12%, 10% after my break even point of a particular stock, I can get back half of the MFS money. But before, I was looking at it as, oh, I need to make back all the MFS money one time. And I said, no, who tell us I have to do that? I can take piece here, so and take
So
piece from there.
you
So.
choose the time. You choose the time for your goals.
Right. Yes. And as got scrolling through and I see that at the time I see that AHPC was about 150 at like that 153. So my break even was about 158. But what I did though is I was saying, all right, report coming out, this company has been coming up, now they're making a profit and all those stuff. But the tool I'm talking about specifically though was just stuff like I could just draw that horizontal line across the chart to say, all right, it's at
Oh,
this
HPC.
150 HPC,
Uh-huh.
and it hasn't seen this price since this amount, since this thing happened. And I just use the Q traveling man, and I go back and I look at how much it went up to and the effect of that news happening. I'm not saying it that it has to always go that way. But I'm hedging my bets on that. I could be wrong. I'm saying, I could be wrong, but I feel like I have a little bit more, I can reduce a little bit of the doubt with that knowledge that I can gain from using the different
That's
tools and
exactly.
my money.
I mean, I never asked your pay tips. I'm thankful you said that you're right. My money J is that's exactly the point behind it. It's meant to help complement what you already do. And for the people who don't know a lot, it's especially meant to help to you. Like if you don't know nothing and you wonder, all right, how much profit they make, how them think, how them financials go, how much money they make last year. It's right at your fingertips that you can check it, right? You can say, oh, what was the
Mhm.
prospectus like? It's right there. What's coming up for companies? There's also that right there for you. And like you mentioned, in being able to check the line, I can imagine when it dropped back down to 134. Are you thinking when last was it there? Or when you come back up to 134, you see that, yeah, whatever it is, there's no one thing that will help you. It's a whole lot of tools that are meant to help you um, to make all of these decisions. So I'm happy to hear it. And yeah, the Q replay, being able to go and pick a specific day and replay and see exactly how it went that day.
Uh,
Yeah,
and
like
I can look and sorry, go ahead.
no, I mentioned you mentioned like we were talking about the broker linked orders before. When you can go back and see exactly like how a broker linked order trade, how exactly a broker linked order trade.
I can see the
How
type of volumes, like how much money I can move through this thing. Because probably
yeah.
something go up 10% or 5% in a day, but the amount of money that I can move through it
Mhm.
probably not gonna move the needle the way how I want it to move.
Yeah, or it
So that's
might, right? It might not seem big, but it might not seem like a big percentage, but you can move a lot through. For there's a little while,
that is
especially
true.
last year, where Trans Jamaica, like even now, you can count on Trans Jamaica give you a nice 8, 9, 10%. Look at the 10%, look at the 15% move this month. Unlike
No,
many other
I
stocks
don't.
that can move 15% in 1 month, Trans Jamaica, you can
True.
move 10 million and get 15% on top of it and cash out the whole 10 plus 15 million, 10 million plus 15%
Crazy.
on top of it
Yeah.
in 1 day on the right day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
NMJ help you with a whole heap of that. And then lots of little things like the calculations. You just around your buy
Mm-hmm.
and sell decision, like, yo, if I buy this right now, my average price is going to become this, and the market price
Yeah,
is going to
you're not
become
funny
that.
enough, Randy. I not even pay attention to average price. I use the break-even price these
What?
days.
Okay, but we also calculate that for you. So it's
Yes,
there's a lot
yes.
of tools there, and I tell you, so you need to pay for that. We already pay for it, so I'm thankful. Maybe you need to get that money though, because I'm
No,
putting
but
you
me, I
to
tell you,
change it.
say, if Dana and Shea was here, man, to them, I was saying to them that I was gonna then say that, yo, if I stay my room and make me have to buy them my drinks.
Then I hear that.
Real
Here,
man.
man.
Because those two things, the hugging the loss and why I put it in the queue. So now with HPC, I make my 10% off it, but here what was the lesser from this, The 10% was nice, but it was a big answer right there. So I got to that 150, my break even was 158 thereabout. So I put in my 10% at 175, I think. 175. The day come me trade for 175. And I know I said, I want 10%, maybe 10%, but I made me I said, well, so probably shouldn't put it in at that time, because when they finish, me say 185. And I said, well, I could not possibly have known that it would go to 185, but suppose it go 175 and just clear one person order before it reach I just drop it right back down and I miss the 10% chance. So,
Well,
I was like, at the end of the day, I was happy. I got the money I came for, and I move on, and then I can go into something else now to get back the rest of the NFS loss. So,
you definitely
it was
owe
a
Dana money though.
lesson. Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
definitely.
man. That was my
Anybody else who
lessons
want the same
learned.
kind of and deeper advice, theharladvisor.com. Of course, my money JA is open to everybody. So mymoneyja.com, sign up and yeah, it can help you blow up your portfolio, or at very least keep on track of on top of your portfolio. There's what 13, 14 brokers in Jamaica, and almost none of them can you easily get a quick true view of how your portfolio is doing. That's
Yes,
wild, you know.
sir. Very.
That's a wild thing. And none of them can you easily go, yo, this is exactly how much I have right now, and exactly how much my dividend should be, and exactly how much after fees and everything. Like it I don't mind it, because I'm happy that you can get my money, Jay. I put it that way. But thank you for the unsolicited ad.
There was
There.
one question I had though. Is more of a technical question, if I may.
All
Um,
right.
what was it again? Broker. Right. When we see a broker order there, is it that do they have a software that can automatically refill the quantity if it gets filled, or they have to go back and manually put it in?
It's a good question. I don't work as a broker. But the brokers have a lot more they have a lot that software that does more. They have more accesses. They have the Bloomberg terminals. Those are very expensive, but they do have access to them. And they have lots more than the retail investor gets. So the closest retail investor gets to that is my money JA. And I can
I
tell
was
you that
just, I
we've
was
been
just
testing now
asking.
is trading with my money JA. But can they, as you're asking like how the iceberg order works, they can do different orders that we can do, and their software does allow them to. The brokers have you can say that. You can say they have different software that allow them to do more than what we the plebs get.
Okay, all right.
For now anyway. I can tell you we're testing some stuff with my money JA that is the rise of the plebs.
All right,
Yeah,
all right.
yeah.
Bet.
It's a bunch of people already trading from my money JA, and I am testing a whole lot more that they like. So look out for it. If you don't have a my money JA account, I mean, it's less than $1 a day per year. US is $1 US, but it's less than $1 US per year, per day for a year for the premium plan. And I would encourage you heavily to get it, or not. I don't mind having an
As would
advantage
I.
over. Yeah. I don't mind having an advantage over the people who don't use it though. Brick cutter.
Yo, what's up?
Not much, sir. I don't know if it's you or Tav get the chance to be the
Tav,
last.
jump in before me still.
Okay, but I
But I
think
don't know
Tav
if
had
I'm
spoken, so I
first.
don't know. Tav, you had made the actual point that you came on to me.
Yeah, man.
You sure? You don't have the blow up. You don't have the stuff for the blow up
More than
list.
likely, me probably forget.
All right.
I probably forget. But
All right.
maybe the blow up within which time?
A year.
What, a year or less?
By
It's not like you're a whole lot from saying your favorite.
I don't know. That mandatory, you know, so you know, make sense to talk about something mandatory.
Mandatory.
But you know, maybe we see JC give one look blow up. Maybe
JSC? Wow.
JSE. Yeah, maybe we can get one within a year.
What do you think about that, Dan?
I would say the why is more important than the thing.
Yeah, the why. The why is the most important thing. Well, why?
I mean, we are seeing more and more trades are going, you know, and the GOJ bonds them will come on. Hopefully, we already see trades from that. Not come on,
hold on.
We already see trades.
I'm asking because maybe you've heard something I haven't heard. Are the GOJ bonds going to be made tradable by us plebs?
No man, not at the tradable. But may I say we already see trades from that going on the reflecting on the JC.
Yeah, but I don't know if JC gets any money for that.
Think of free work on
That would be very funny if that the free work there.
Yeah. Would you? If it came out like, because they've never been clear on that.
We'll probably have to ask them. AGM soon.
But the Q1 result come out.
AGM soon, so I could see.
The Q1 say yes? Did the Q1 confirm that?
I don't see no evidence of it.
But I mean, granted, the bonds were listed in what, March or April?
Right, which is Q1. I think it was March. I was trying to look back to see
if they spoke about it. I think they use such careful language when they speak, and the profit has been down, ROE, return on equity down. But I know that I'm looking at them as being in transition, but I can't speak for them. So I don't know. What I do, I don't know. I know the things that I have seen. Is okay. Securities Commission fees decreased by 23.1 million, 66%, due to the direct correlation between cess revenue and the related fees, which to me is saying that the cess revenue and the fees is directly related to our trading, which I would think that with the bonds coming on, that wouldn't be done.
Right.
I would not be surprised if, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they're not getting any money from it. Meaning they're not charging for it.
That's funny for me still, because I mean it's a business, and you know, regardless if a government or not, they will facilitate a service unless that rough still. That rough. You can't see that. Yes, the police can't even go to your toll without pay.
In the words of the great L.A. Lewis, what the normal people are going to drive.
The ordinary people are going to drive.
Yeah, but I would not be surprised if this is not.
JSC is the arm of government, bro.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if there's
they certainly act like it sometimes. So.
Yeah, you know, it's like it helps out the BOJ. It helps out the BOJ link. It makes the government bonds more visible. That is true. But again, I'm not really interested in things I can see that I can't have. So what's the point? And then from my business, if you're coming from the business perspective, as Stav said, even the police pay the toll. But I don't know, so I'm leaving. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong. Yeah, they'll say. But And then I guess you get to close us off then, Sir Brick Cutter. What's your blow-up gift list?
Yeah, man. Okay. Make the BrickTalk finish. I want to talk about SVL.
We spoke about it earlier. I know we couldn't
at the
make it
beginning.
finish and talk about it no more. What do you mean?
We get a little opportunity for segue into it after you guys were talking about network, Wusinko network and separate distribution network. I mean, Tav was saying the strength of it, but the strength of, and also the strength of the little man. And I think we've spoken about SVL's network for a long time, and them using, leveraging that. I mean, this would have been from discussions before COVID, leveraging that for things like the financial services. And I think this is probably the year where we're going to see they've been putting in the investments into various things besides fintech, also Ghana. But earlier you said something that made me think of that Ghana thing when you guys are saying what exactly does this mean. I think you were saying it in relation to TGH. What does the new
like what I really mean? Just a general question. What I really mean.
2-3 years ago when them say we're expanding into Ghana, and there was a lot of noise about it, a lot of excitement. But I remember you, Randy, being very sobering and saying, so what exactly does that mean? They're not going to walk into Ghana and just tomorrow be profitable.
Yeah, it takes time to build up any good business, and it takes a lot of time to break into a market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that was 2 years ago.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
And
that's true.
I don't get the impression that never got the impression that the guys working, the guys responsible for SBL are I've always gotten the impression that they know what they're doing. The CEO or executive chairman did say that the Ghana operations were profitable last year, and that has continued into Q1, and so was Caymana's last year, continued into Q1.
They don't break out the Ghana numbers though.
No.
Yes.
Yet.
There's profit. There's different types of profit. Not that I think that they pay. I mean, they have at least with me a cachet, a trust. So even if it's paper profit, I think you'll see some paper out of it. I don't think it's accidental, but
right.
I do want to see what kind of profit. I want to see how they made it profitable, especially because the Ghana business is not, if I remember correctly, it's not the Ghana business like how it's SVL in Jamaica. It's in Ghana, they are the supplier of the software, really. Yeah, the tech supplier to the business on the ground.
Right. They are Bright Star to Game Park.
Yes.
Bright Star is their technology provider in Jamaica.
Is it Bright Star?
Yeah, they changed the name to Bright Star.
Well, what's the name
I really
before?
want to know that. Yeah, the name before is probably ring a better bell, but I can't remember it now.
I can't remember.
IGT.
IGT, yes.
International Game Technology. Yeah.
IGT,
yeah. But no, IGT is Bright Star Lottery.
Right.
Okay.
Right. And so
the thing we're suffering
allude to that.
Easier to say.
Yeah.
See, the thing we're suffering from there is that Bright Star is easier to say, so from here, just forget everything
else. Forget everything else. Exactly. I'm gonna see it on the Caymanas, on the finish line at Caymanas. So every time I watch a race, you see it. Yeah.
Have you ever bet on a race?
Not the last
Not
time
in
I bet
years,
on a
Phil.
race it wasn't in Jamaica. It wasn't Cape Adams. It was in
No.
Aqueduct, which actually shut down. That was a long time ago with my father.
Okay.
But that might change.
Yeah,
I know the
you can go
race
to
I'm
boot.
betting on.
Huh?
Yeah, we know the
I'm
races
betting
we're
more
betting
on
on.
Yes,
That race.
I'm betting on SBL more so than individual races.
Yeah, that's smart, yeah. Don't
But
buy cash, but buy SBL.
No, all I do now, bro. If we
yeah.
buy, that's one we need to know. It'll be the funniest thing we ever do now, bro. All these years I talk about buy SBL, don't buy the lotto.
You see,
And the one time we buy, we win it.
one time.
There are people like we win lottery, cause if you imagine win the super lotto.
Oh. We couldn't come on it and talk again, bro. After years, talk about no man. The odds are better.
That's true. That would be crazy.
Wow.
I know the money will go right back, you know. So
yeah, you know it.
Right back into. And I said, I wouldn't even hide my face. I'd go collect it the same way. I'd collect it same way, shake my hand, and leave the SBL office, go right down to the broker, and just
those like also SBL.
Yeah, man. Ask them can pay me in shares.
You see.
Yeah. You go right into it. But anyway, sorry, Phil, I cut your point.
Yeah.
They said 2 years ago they went into Ghana. They put in 2 years of work. And it's now profitable.
They funded it with debt. Interesting. What my understanding of the structure, they lend game part the money basically, and once you get to a certain point of profitability, then Game Park is able to pay for the pay for the tech that they provide, the technical support that they provide, and I expect to see that going forward. They just had their most, I don't really hear anybody saying it in this way, but it's their highest revenue Q1 ever. Thanks to my money, JA. That was easy to find.
Yeah.
And I do, and then the whole dollar evolve deal basically look to me like they are selling a part of their company. They're selling a loan book, and that should, in whatever way the structure, whatever the way it is structured, that should be income for the company.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're gonna do it. So I do expect that a lot of it to be a good year for them. I mean, I remember when SVL, I've been buying SVL from in the 30s. See it go down to 25,
Don't remind
23,
me.
20. When it was like $19 and then thing early 2025, I was like, well, it can't go no lower. And no.
Today closed at $17.10.
$17. Yeah. But because it's coming up from 13, people are going to say, well, I want to go back down to 13. I'm like, yo, less than a year ago, it was at 19. And if you saw it at 17, you would be gobbling it up.
That's true. In fact, if you remember the episode that we had with Sir Barry was on and Paul Simpson. Paul Simpson infamously said that he'd start buying SVL again when it's at 17.
I wonder if he bought.
I don't know.
It's true, 17.
Things might change. Might be busy now. I see on YouTube, Javon said the blow up stock could be Barita. So, It could be busy now, so I don't know.
Maybe them
Yeah,
distracted.
but I mean, I don't own any Barita. I do own some SVL. I do know also that I will be owning. Well, maybe we'll save that Barita blow for another time. But there is something there. I think it's time, close to time for them now. With how they're looking, they're posturing that way. But I don't want to hijack your point again. Your SVL point.
Yeah. I mean, I think there's a lot that they have going on. That is, I think a lot of preloaded expenses are going to translate into revenue, not just revenues, but profits this year.
Profits, yeah. I think they're putting a lot, like you. I think they're putting a lot of the heavy work early. That Caymanas point we were excited about. I said Dan and I were talking about that in 2019, maybe one of the earliest episodes of earnings season. You were talking about the Caymanas thing, and then COVID hit and plans kind of changed. I know the last year has been rough for SVL. Maybe the last year and a half, and kind of feel good about that because the pressure bust pipe, but pressure also make diamonds. So I expect I expect them to do some great things. And unlike many companies on the market, I feel like company leadership is also interested in the share price.
Yes, sir.
Hey, that
And
it shocked me to hear. I don't know if it was Dan. Yeah, it was Dan alone on the NCB. It was yesterday. Yeah, NCB forum. Pushing the NCB principals there, Robert Almeida them, to say that they are interested in share price. And I mean MJE is obvious. MJE and the whole Mayberry team, share price is important to them. But yeah, like you said, that thought came to mind too when Dale brought up with Cinco and the share price of many of these companies, chip companies. I would say SVL is one of the lowest of chips, and I do see their share price as being something that will move given the right catalyst.
In which direction?
Unless so of a catalyst that then I would say Cinco would need. In which direction?
Yeah,
well, I'm betting that is up.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but we've been saying that from 33.
But yes, that's correct.
It is what it is. It done before its time. I'm with you there. It's so funny that no
insider buy has been happening though.
Yeah. A significant amount.
Not usual.
Yeah, a significant amount of insider buys. In fact, the most significant insider buys that I've seen on the market, significant, consistent insider buys that I've seen on the market, I would say the three most would be SVL recently, ROC, and JetCon. Those three companies have had insiders buying so I don't know if it's surprising me, but like it stands out to me, and buying after a long time, and consistent buys. So a lot of companies you see buy, you see sell
over several quarters.
Yeah, but I mean May 21st, a connected party bought 9,000 ROC shares. But I did check. I remember that one because if you check all the 9,000 ago, it's like they were testing. Out of this 270 order. Out of that 270, then buy 9,000 out of it. I'm not used to, like it started happening relatively recently, and it stood out to me. Those three companies: Iron Rock, Insiders, JetCon, 5,000. Connected Party purchased 5,000 shares, 300,000 shares, 50,000 shares. And I said SVL, Iron Rock, SVL, and JetCon. Those three recently have stood up. Maybe the last few months, the trend has stood out to me and start paying attention to it. And It's happening more and more and more. I think it's the first sale I saw for any of them in a while. May 19th, a senior manager for SVL sold 121,124 SVL shares, and a related entity bought 1.08 million SVL shares. So they never flood the queue. They've been acting like people who seem to expect something grand from the share price very soon.
Yeah. I mean,
That's
I counted the insider buys and sells. I might have been assisted by AI. And,
I think he did it with the group there, no? So
yeah, man, I did it in the group.
Yeah.
I did it in the group. Big up the group and big up MMJA, man. Just
the AI that we have in the group is more powerful than MMJA AI. More powerful in certain ways. Much more powerful.
And the group allow you to combine the two, eh?
I'll talk about
the people don't know them, Miss Randy.
Yeah, they don't know, and I don't.
The AI tool, let's see.
The two things that were sent today, I saw it and I said, "Oh, I go, Jesus!" I was hoping nobody would do it, and I'm not surprised that somebody did it. And
me did I try to do it.
I hope that you don't realize that
with the AI tool.
It's not that it can't do it; it's that I stop it from doing what it's limited from doing it. It's more than capable of doing it. You know, it says anyway. The point is, you were helped and you were counting the buys in SVL.
I was counting, yes. So it's 15-1, because we know that they sell as well. They are insider sales. Linked to a version of their version of stock-based compensation and other things, of course. But the ratio from January 2025 has been 15-1. Buys to sales, and we can see from the quarterly releases of the top 10, there's been some movement. There's a top 10 holder that's been selling, our family that's been selling, and the executive chairman has spoken about it on forums. But not all of it, but most of it has been absorbed by Zodiac and MJE.
And wide base.
And wide base, very, very importantly. And so it says to me, like you said, that it seems like they have expectations and imminent expectations of insiders only buy for one reason, right? You sell for various reasons, but you only buy if you expect gains.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
And as I always remind people, we the investors are guessing. They aren't.
Yeah, they aren't. They know.
Yeah, they aren't guessing. They know. What I suspect is that we're gonna look back on the $15, $16, $17 days and go, "Jive, we didn't know."
We didn't know.
Yeah.
But we did. The signs were there.
But Randy, look on the conversation before the price did go back up from 13. And if you remember what we talk about in the group, man, when we do the calculation, them and one at a time, Phil say, him check over a couple of days and it come up to 20 something million, Phil.
20 odd million, yeah.
Yeah. And it's like right away the dots them connect up where say, all right, cool, Yeah, expect a moving from there. So because that deal to me did nice still, because all right, yeah, sell then. When no more than that, if you sell that, I know we're gonna cut the deal. You get me? So I kind of rate how that go down, because the more sensible move that. If a man sell it, just allow him to sell.
Yeah,
I just cut a deal with it at a much lower price.
I don't think any of this is random. That's what I'll say. I mean, yeah.
Uber talk this week. I hope they're listening.
Yeah. I don't think any of this is random, and I don't think it's like a man just a sell. I don't think let them buy. I mean, last quarter, 18 million units of SVL were sold by one party.
I remember.
Yeah, and that didn't hit the queue. Not that it didn't hit the queue, but it was absorbed, like Phil said, and that's not a small amount of shares to be absorbed, and that also I'm sure take planning and timing, and it's a very beautiful picture being painted. I hope I'm rich enough to see the whole of the painting, because take them time, boy, nothing before their time.
Yes, sir.
Not before their time, not a minute before. So SVL is your blow up stock, Bill.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't want to rush you off it, Although I don't rush you off it. I know you don't mention Kyo World yet, but I don't know if you're sparing us at the Kyo this week.
Well, I mean, I think I talked about it enough. I think, and I mean, again, I am. It's good to see that they are talking about it more publicly. The Gary Peer directing people to Google, but Maha is now is on the Stockholm Stock Exchange, which is easy to find on Yahoo Finance. So you can track the price of that and see they have deals in the pipeline. And he himself worded the Maha deal or the Venezuela discovery as when them winning the lotto.
That's funny. Okay.
Very funny.
That is extremely funny. Did he speak to? I haven't watched it yet. Did he speak to the reworking of the deal and the canceling of the SPAC listing?
No, he didn't.
Okay, nobody questioned him about it?
I think that forum, the SVL forum, was
before that happened.
That SPAC deal even came out, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But they said they expected it to list on Nasdaq in the States in June. By June, that's what he said. I don't know if that timeline is still gonna be observed, but since then they had the speculation about it, or there are discussions with a SPAC, and then the SPAC cancelled.
They canceled or the SPAC?
I don't know. I get the impression that they canceled.
I get that impression also.
Yeah.
That's the impression.
Because I think that they have a lottery ticket. Not a ticket, a winning ticket. Them don't win.
Don't need you, my brother.
That's right.
Yeah, an oil asset on the US market right now. We're really into that.
We're on oil.
Yeah, right. They're
this
really
side of the world,
that.
oil.
Yeah. Look out.
Gary went into the whole thing. Gary actually spoke about the Venezuelan oil. That particular oil field being light oil, which is uncommon for Venezuela.
Easier to refine.
And it's easier to refine, and literally saying that it replaces Iranian oil. It's similar in grade to the Iranian oil, which is easier to refine, and you need it to dilute the heavy oil. The heavy oil requires a lot of capex to take out to the ground and to transport, and they often dilute it with that light oil. So the light oil is more valuable. And there are a lot of dots in that.
Holy dots.
Both the recent SVL and MGL forum, both of them.
Yeah.
I would advise people to take a listen.
Yeah. What I'll say is this, like, I'm not going to be the guy of, the local market isn't advanced enough. But if I could make the market more advanced, I would make it in that way where, second order thinking and connecting those dots a little bit more. Because on the US market, if you told me that profitable, cash rich, strong cash flow, gambling firm bought an asset for cheap that happened to end up having oil in the most oil rich nation this side of the earth, the share price would be blowing up.
Correct.
And I suspect. No, go ahead, and
this deal talk about.
Who?
Deal.
This deal talk about.
Oh yeah. Well, I don't know if SVL match that, but yeah. I think it's just a matter of time. And I don't say that to everybody else. I say time as in like them have a appointed time.
I'm ready.
Yeah. Because I mean, it could. I don't know if this is what it is, but it could be like, yo, am I gonna blow up your 31.5 million shares? I will blow it up after I get it. Yeah, no, I'm in no rush. I'll send me more at 15 and 16 and 17 and 19 and 20, and I don't know if that's what's happening. It's just since that's the largest seller and the only seller in the top 10, it's a possibility that, you know, if I had a move that I could control, and you also said that you were selling a significant amount of shares in the company, I would control the move so that you sell all those shares, or at least a vast majority, and then I would make my move. It just makes sense. I would also want to buy as much of those shares as I can, and then I'm gonna blow it up. And if there's an opportunity also of a buyout or a exiting or anything, I'm gonna take what I can out of the company while I can. I consider all those possibilities to around like the selling of the loan book to dollar, the keyword linked to the SVL network, which I think was this point that you started with, Phil, which was around the distribution, where the distribution, you can get Cashbot anywhere. Cashbot, Craveny, Whiterum, Badmine, you can get it anywhere. And Cashbot being anywhere means that the SVL financial, did they call it a financial network? Actually, you know what? They call it the Mayberry Financial Network. If I'm recalling correctly from that document, like what, 3 years ago? I could be wrong. My memory is spotty.
Well, maybe financial network is emblazoned on all the forums and on their annual report. Maybe financial network.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that? You know who owned Game Park?
No.
Me neither. Anyway, you have anything else, Phil? We're gonna call it a night now if you don't have anything else.
Yeah, man. I'm good.
All
right. Big up. I think people, from an episode I would never expect to go very long, and I also never expect to have that much in there. About a hell of a lot of gems.
Gems, bro.
Yeah, a lot of gems, bro. Gems. I'll wrap on that point. I don't have anything else. I see a couple other people mentioning things. I see Andy B. Let him join us late. So when you spend your own capital, it's never random. A lot of due diligence and insight was done.
Oh,
that's very interesting wording.
Right.
All right. And also, Suzette Barrows, it said the micro market should positively affect the JSE. And I do hope so, Suzette. I do believe so. The junior market has been a big boon for the boon for the JSE. I expect the micro market to be the same. And for something like that, I wouldn't rush it. I mean, the junior market was launched, and then for about 1 year, nothing happened. Just to give you that idea. About 1 year, nothing happened. And then Mayberry listed Access. And then Mayberry listed a whole lot of other things. And then even then, only us, the man and the woman on the street, really got the vast majority of that. And it's so funny. Now here we are in 2026, and the junior market is considered such an established thing, strong. And I remember how it was spoken about at the start. I remember all the I don't buy those junior market companies comments. And so I wouldn't rush the micro market, because a lot of the same thing will happen. The micro market is meant to be smaller. A lot of smaller companies will be on it. That's not to say there won't be value there. I expect a lot of value there. I expect and hope for a lot of value for JC there, and also the companies that list on it. And maybe also companies that are listed on our market. Who knows? You wouldn't be surprised if you see Suchman, News Boss, list a couple of or try or list, yeah, who knows, not try, maybe list a couple of those subsidiaries on the micro market. That would be beautiful if it could happen, but the problem still remains. You still need a broker, right? So if you have a broker, then you know you're good to go. But if you don't have a broker, stress is a stress. But yeah, if it was easy, everybody would be doing it anyway. So yeah, that's a good point about the junior market, and the B says only good when we look back. I don't know, it's great. It's kind of great even when we look forward. Like we consider good things in time. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you were saying around NTB.
I think you're saying SPA, but NCB NCB is going to, I don't want to say it's going to, but it could blow up in a year. A year is, I don't know if a year is a year, but it could blow up in a year, especially if it has new owners. Even if it has the old owner, the current owner has made NCB into a leaner machine, much leaner. Financially, it's the numbers look great. I'm not swearing to it as like it's not definitely not my number one blow up pick, but especially since they did that APO. But I don't think that many people participate in the APO, so I think with some news it might be great. And you know, who knows, maybe there's something Barita-esque there too. Yeah, it could be something Barita-esque there. I once had a pipe dream about that. Barita themselves, I think it's time.
Barita,
It's a
Barita of things are going on.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe it's one and the same. Sagicor have things happening, but I don't know if that means a blow up.
Yeah.
I don't know if that means a blow up, but who knows? Maybe they'll put it in a certain way where. Yeah, I don't know.
Or they mean something. That's saying.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. No, yeah. The last cause, and I tried to throw it all out there, but also the dollar could give us a blow up within the year. Depending on how that thing works out with the whole SVL books and the buying of the Evolve loan book and yada yada yada. The Q1 profit was certainly surprising, and the dividend was strong, is strong. Not I say it is strong, and there's a whole lot more. You know who might give us a hell of a surprise? I love when it's like my favorite when it looks like it's going to be the absolute worst, but it might turn on to be the absolute best. ECL, which has
same. But yeah, I mean that's the but. Yeah, you just said it already. Yes, ECL.
Yeah, ECL with the ECLs.
My fingers are very crossed. I just want to see something from me. Say, all right, man, time come, time for buy.
Boy, better know.
Listen.
No, I want to hear yours.
I would say I even would want to be just be buying. You know, just pick up some over time, go and do it. But that takes some that take conviction and belief. And other things are in front of me, so I don't have to do it, but I don't think it's the worst plan. I think it's a good plan if they can make certain things sort out properly, and I can't see why not. So I can see why not, but I can see the good sense prevail and do the right things. So yeah.
Well, them under some they have a pressure timeline coming up,
and that pressure is part of the diamond. The pressure is part of why I see it as something that can be so good.
Yeah, can be great, and I hope the pressure forces them to make it great. I'll give the people two good things about it and one negative thing. I'll give you the negative thing first. They have a crap load of debt. That means they have a bond listed in US dollars, and the bond amount, you know, the related parity balances. I'm no finance expert, but they seem to have lent within the group where we can't see higher than the listed company. They seem to have lent within the group more money than the actual cost of the bond. And the bond is millions of US, and the bond becomes due. a little less than a year from now, March 2027, which is not that far away. Especially if you're going to refinance it, it's not that far away, and I don't know how much they can refinance it. That's the negative. The two good things: tourism is continuing to rise, generally speaking. Two, I'll give you 2.5 good things. The other half good thing is that the related companies are companies that we know, and hey, list those companies. Pay us for the debt. List those companies. Send some shares back, and help manage that. And the third good thing, or other, that's 1A, 1B. And the second good thing is, our opportunity is, I think, if I have the timing right, Norman Manley International Airport is now up for new concession arrangements, and they're looking to expand. And hey, ECL have all the experience already, have all of the food in the Mobile one. So they're already good with the company, the Mexican company that runs the Mobile one, which is also the company that runs the Norman Manley one.
Interesting time with the bond in mind, eh?
Perfect timing with the bond. Perfect timing. And everybody likes Starbucks, everybody likes coffee. Some people want Aunt Annie's. We love Babylon food, and it is yummy. It is yummy. So who knows? It might work out great for ECL, and if it doesn't, it's gonna work out great for the shrewd investors. And if it does, it's gonna work out good for the shrewd investors. So be a shrewd investor. I hope we touched all the blow up stuff that you guys wanted. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. I enjoyed the episode. Thank you as always to everybody who came on. Thank you, of course, Denai to do it. I'm looking out for Shiv when she can come back. We'd love to have her on. But in the meantime, thank you guys for joining us. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And it's been another Brick Talk.
All right, people, all the best. Enjoy your weekend. And the trading coming. No trading Monday, bro. No
trading Monday, Labor Day. Go out and paint a school or something. Buy supplies from Atlantic Hardware.
Yes.
And go out and you didn't have to do anything. Buy the supplies from Atlantic Hardware and put in your yard. Thank you.